Hey, welcome to Deep Threats Podcast. It is week 11 of the NFL. Today's November 19th, and we are going over this week's topics. This is KJM over here on the mic. I have my co-host here, Steve, with me today.
Hello, I'm Steve.
All right, and then we also have both our guests here today. We have Bo.
Yo!
There he is.
All right, and then we have our Sizzle on my right, your left.
Our Sizzle.
All righty, we have Bo.
Yo!
There he is.
All right, and then we have our Sizzle on my right, your left.
Our Sizzle.
All righty. And we're going to get into some topics today. It's going to be a fun day. We're going to get into Thursday's matchup. We're going to get into the pick'ems. We had some selections for Sunday's games. And I'm going to be honest, we're pretty accurate there. We're going to go over what our criteria is for both of those positions. And then on top of that, we are going to go over this week's 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games, the primetime games for Sunday and Monday. And then if we get into anything else, we're going to jump into those things also. There'll be a lot of conversation today with some of the things that have happened around the league with games being moved and weather changes, and I'm sure we're going to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Just because we live in the north and it's snow, and that's what football's for. That being said,
what's this white stuff?
We're going to go over Thursday's game.
Todd Downing.
White powder.
Ryan, how did you feel about Thursday's game, and did you get your pick 'em?
No, I didn't get my pick 'em. Why are you picking
Who did you pick?
Packers.
All right.
He's just trying to rub it in.
I know he is.
Because
I called him out the other day because I was the only team.
The
only guy.
The only guy.
The only one that picked Carolina. But let me tell you something. I picked Carolina because I had a hunch that they were due. They were due for a win, and the Falcons are weak. But
what does that have to do with this Thursday game?
let me tell you something. This Thursday's game, if Green Bay came out slinging the rock like they should have and stopped trying to run against a very stout run defense, they probably would have won that game. But they chose to run the football too much. And quit giving the rock to A.J. Dillon. I'm done with the A.J. Dillon hype. I'm disgusted with this dude. He runs right. He's literally Trent Richardson 2.0.
Oh.
He's Trent Richardson 2.0. He has no vision. He can't see lanes. He can't see when they're coming. He thinks he can just run over everybody. I tell you what, there's a lot of other guys on the defensive side of the ball that have quads the size of you do. Listen, it's time to just give it to the more athletic back, the more dynamic back in Aaron Jones. That's all I got to say.
All right, so Bo, do you have a counter to that at all? You have a counter to that at all?
I mean, I guess it's hard to say. I don't even know.
So how did you feel about the Thursday game? Did you feel it went as you thought it was going to go?
You won't see my score because the capacity of understanding the game was more or less was this one that Green Bay should have won? Yes. Was it one that Tennessee could have done what they were supposed to do? Yes. But it wasn't that. It was a different game because they stopped Derrick Henry, and then A.J. Dillon, I agree though, is maybe not the 4.5 yard per carry in between the tackles guy that they thought he was supposed to be. But, Tennessee also saw that coming. If A.J. Dillon's in, they load the box. They do their thing. They know what's coming. It's A.J. Dillon. It's not a surprise. And on the same token, Green Bay did the same thing with Derrick Henry. Hey, okay.
They loaded the box.
We're going to load the box.
Yeah.
It's Derrick Henry. Inside the tackles. We'll figure it out. It'll be a thing. So I'm not one way or the other on this, and I didn't pick a game because of that. What I will say is this though: Tennessee 7-1 after starting 0-2 is exciting.
They've been great since
injuries have happened, and they played beyond them.
Right.
They went into Green Bay and they won a game. I'm excited. Their regular season play is awesome. I don't give a fuck about the regular season play. because this is a team that is
Well, you got to get the playoffs. I mean,
Gotta make it.
exactly. But what do they do? They lose in the fucking playoffs, and that's my biggest fear. But beating the Packers at home is a significant win.
Yep.
AJ Dillon, though, to Ryan's defense, hasn't been able to produce the way he should have. Like, our expectations as fantasy owners, right? Because, like, we have to look at this not only from a game aspect.
That's what we look at.
As a fantasy owner.
That's how we judge a player, right?
Right, like a little bit of
From
both,
stats.
right? A
From
little bit of
stats.
both.
Statistically speaking,
Right.
he's averaging 4 yards a carry
That
on 117 attempts, I think it was. Yes.
and as someone who would draft him in maybe like the 6th or 7th round, it's just not.
And they average
serviceable.
6.7 yards a carry as a team total.
so there's no reason to be putting it in Dylan's hands if
Nope.
Aaron Jones is doing
No,
that much
you
with the
give
ball.
it if you're gonna give it to somebody, you give it to the dynamic
So,
back.
I got a question for you guys. Ready? Was that a Tannehill prove-it game to make sure Malik Willis didn't stay in that game?
Malik Willis is a project.
But-
The Titans knew that. So did the rest of the league. That's why he was drafted where he was drafted. He's a project,
But they leaned on Tannehill that game, and he showed that he can still do it.
and he can absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, Steve.
What do you got,
What do
Steve?
you think?
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, if years past, right, they lean on Tannehill. They lean on Tannehill to hit the easy throws, right? What is the phrase they use for quarterbacks that you don't necessarily they're not going to be your game winners.
West Coast offense.
check down.
Your game manager.
Yep.
That's it, right? You're not going to lose the game for him, but you're not going to win it for him. That's
Not a
their,
franchise quarterback.
yeah, that's Derrick Henry's role. Derrick Henry is your franchise everything. That's it. He's your offense. He's 60% of your 60% of your offense,
Do
something
you
like that.
need a franchise quarterback when you have a guy like him?
You got a franchise running back.
Sure. I agree. But how long? I mean, at some point, the longevity it comes into question. Is Malik Willis that? No. But then Tannehill tosses for 333, 2 touchdowns, and a pick against beat up Packers defense in Lambeau. It's impressive. It's impressive for Tannehill, let alone impressive for a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, but that just speaks to like them wanting to stop Derrick Henry,
Yes.
right? Like,
I agree.
That's what it was. But like, why is the secondary wanting to stop Derrick Henry? Like, I don't. That's where I don't understand.
Well,
it. It's like,
the cool thing about that game is the rule of thumb is that Tennessee learned a little bit, right? They stopped Derrick Henry for what they could do, and they still won the game. And that was kind of what they struggled with last year in the playoffs. When Derrick Henry didn't do anything, the team didn't do anything, and they had way better receivers last year.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think
They focused a lot on Derrick Henry.
that was a step
and that
forward.
allowed. But you know what? That's what makes the Titans so dangerous.
Yep.
But shouldn't
Yes.
Green Bay at home be able to say like, "Hey, you guys are probably thinking that I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm going to throw the ball and be that guy." So it should be like AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones should have the lanes because the secondary has to like respect Aaron Rodgers, and they fucking don't. Excuse my French.
No, yeah.
They don't. They don't respect Aaron Rodgers.
I don't. I don't like him.
And so, like, so that's where, to your point, Ryan, AJ Dillon underperformed.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I'm going to kind of switch the topic here on this one. I'm going to get to Johnny G on the mic because I didn't introduce him again today.
Oh man, come on!
So-
How you can do it to him?
It's habit. But you know what? We're going to introduce Johnny G on the mic with his meme for the day.
Oh,
So, Johnny, give me what you got.
All right,
this better be funny.
so that picture is going to be the Detroit Lions responding to Buffalo about the game getting moved to Detroit, and Detroit taking shots saying that they left the important numbers by the phone, and don't forget to lock up when you leave, and don't break the tables.
That's kind of funny. All right, I like that. I like that. It's funny.
But-
That's a Bills
How-
Mafia?
However, the response that I saw on the Twitter
On
is
the Twitter.
the Twitter is public safety concerns is Nick Chubb running all over the Bills.
Oh,
yeah.
That's like
So-
double meme of the day.
Yes.
Tell me that if they played in Buffalo, tell me that game would
Browns
not,
win that game.
Yeah.
Browns win that game.
Yes. Okay. Good. I'm glad we're there.
We're going to get into that right
You disagree
away.
still?
I love it.
Hold on. We got to talk about
We're
that
gonna
later.
jump into that.
Wow.
We're going to jump into that. No, we're going to jump into that right away because that's
Devin
relevant.
Singletary disappears.
It's relevant. It
6
happened
feet of
today.
snow.
Yes, that's funny.
You mean Josh Allen?
No, he's saying Devin Singletary's like 5'5".
5'7".
Like it's 5 feet of snow. He's gone.
6 feet of snow, he gone. I mean, Chubb's at least 5'11". He might be able to survive a
You
little
can see.
bit.
You can see above it.
Is Singletary only 5'7"? Jeez.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna ask this seriously because I do have a take on this, but everybody, we're gonna go around the table. Does everybody think this game? Or how about this? What way do you think this game goes if it's played in Buffalo? Bo, who wins this game?
If it's played in Buffalo as the weather sits right now,
Well, yeah. I mean, they clean the stadium. They do what they got to do. But as the weather sits right now, if this game is played in Buffalo, who wins that game? Or who do you think has the best chance to win that game?
It still would be snowing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're still going to talk like there's probably going to be like a foot of snowfall during the game.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
You know what I mean? How a game in the northern should be played.
Because I've already seen video.
well-
I've already seen video of this, and their garage doors
They
are almost to the gutters.
they got lucky. They got out of
Yeah.
Buffalo. Like,
I mean,
it was that bad.
All right, what you got, Bo?
What do you got?
Yes.
the Browns defense ranks 18th in rushing the quarterback. Myles Garrett only has 7.5 yards as the 9th best pass rusher.
Yards
in
or
the
sacks?
NFL. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Damn,
And so what I'm thinking is like Myles Garrett's calling out his own defensive players about doing shit and like pointing the fingers at them. I think that's tumultuous for like a team that wants to be in the playoffs. So like for me, give me the Bills because
Okay.
I don't think that their locker room is tumultuous.
So what you're saying is that the Bills' offense supersedes what happens on the Browns' defense, essentially. No matter what the Browns' offense does.
You have to get to Josh Allen to beat him, and you're not getting to Josh Allen.
Okay. All right. Steve, if this is in Buffalo, who wins this game?
Browns.
What's your reason?
Based solely on run game and run game potential. In that weather, throwing the ball, consistently passing the ball, which
It's tough,
which is tough. I mean, it's tough for any team.
right?
However, teams in the North, you play out in it, right? You play in it. You're supposed to be used to it. However, your passing attempts are going to be lower.
All right. Ryan, who do you take in this game if it's in Buffalo?
Especially because
I'm
this
gonna be
is the
honest
game
with
of
you.
the week.
This is my game of the week, so I prefer to just talk about it then when
All right.
we do talk about
All
it.
right.
So let's save me for
The game of the week and
yeah,
your
yeah,
take.
yeah,
Love it.
exactly.
So I'm gonna just say my take, and I say that Buffalo is a good enough team that Buffalo should win this game no matter where it's played. But the run game is a huge advantage in that weather. So I would actually have the Browns winning that by a slight margin, like 2-3 points. But Josh Allen in the snow with a bad elbow, if anybody knows anything about injuries, the swelling in that weather is going to be tough to throw.
And it's 2 weeks in a row. They thought he re-injured it last week, too.
Right.
So that's a problem.
That's why I would take the Browns. But we'll move on from that since we're going to be coming back to that game a little bit later. And then we are going to take a look at the MVP. We're going to get into some MVP talk. Right now, Steve,
Yeah.
your criteria, what is it for MVP?
You have to be right because we looked. I couldn't find the criteria. So this is me. This is me saying, as a fan, as someone who loves football, that my MVP is someone that not only is a game changer on your team, right? Wins you weeks, throws your guys open, hits the holes. I mean, you sacks the quarterback. You have to be the guy. When someone says, "Hey, the Dolphins," "Hey, the Ravens," you are the guy, right? But to be MVP, you got to be the guy in the league. You got to be, when you think NFL, you're like Josh Allen.
Almost essentially like you
Tua.
see NFL, like that's
Yes.
that's the guy.
When you see the logo, yes,
right.
that's my criteria.
right.
And that's above stats, right? Because stats don't necessarily dictate, right? Because Lamar Jackson, he's in the MVP talk, right? As a Ravens fan knows, but he's not the best quarterback statistically.
Right, but he does have numbers for his team. And,
I agree.
And on his team, he's probably the most valuable player.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
So that being said, who would you put at MVP?
My MVP for this year, I mean, granted, I found two guys that I really like. I like Tua a lot. And I don't like admitting that because they just smoked the Browns. However, I think that Tua bouncing back as a player, right? Some people were writing him off. You could almost put him as comeback player. Some people were writing him off, leaving him for dead. And
He kind of looked dead.
he did. Wow.
I'm sorry.
He did.
Maybe too soon.
He did. However, he's shown it. He's the guy on the team, right? Maybe you'll think Tyreek Hill, but who's throwing Tyreek Hill the ball? Who's got all the yards? You might think Jalen Waddle, but I'd say it's Hill over Waddle, my opinion. But
I mean, Hill has more yards.
it's if Tua's not on that team, Teddy Bridgewater is not. They're not winning games with Teddy. So two gloves, Teddy's not winning them games.
All right, Bo, who do you have at MVP with that criteria?
I think it's pretty simple. It kind of speaks to what Steve was just saying. Tyreek Hill's a dog, right?
Dog.
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 Ooh, oh, I see where you're going with this. So you're taking Tua out of this conversation because Tyreek Hill is so
Hill's a
good.
dog. Tyreek
All right.
Hill's a dog. So if Tyreek Hill's such a dog,
Yeah.
why is Patrick Mahomes still leading yards, touchdowns after he leaves? So like for that reason, like you could make the argument like, oh, Tua, he wasn't supposed to do this.
I mean,
No, the fuck he's not. Excuse my French. He legitimately got the MVP, who was the MVP's receivers, and the MVP is still doing what the MVP does. And I know that it's a cliche, and I know it's BS, and nobody wants to hear it
Why?
because it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he does it.
so just
That's a solid pick.
7-2,
Love it.
7-2
With the
AFC
shit defense.
AFC West. The guy's a winner. The guy is leading in passing yards. The guy's leading in passing touchdowns. If it wasn't a quarterback race and you wanted to do rusher, you couldn't. Because all the other guys that are behind this, I don't think that Derrick Henry's having a better year than Saquon. So, like, for me, I
agree.
So I just say, yeah, give me the easy money. I'll take Patrick Mahomes. That's my guy. He's winning. He's doing his thing. And it's without those guys. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill.
we're just going to take the number one tight end. We're just going to take the number one tight end out of that conversation.
Or them trading for a running back. Well, no, I'm just saying. Or them trading for a running back. Like, they didn't go out and get Jeff Wilson Jr. They still stuck to their guns. So for that reason, like, it's like, yeah, I'll just stick around with Pat Mahomes. I know it's boring. I'm not going to say it's hot content.
No,
but the
it's not boring.
truth is the truth.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the truth.
And we preach truth here.
I mean, I don't.
Not really.
I don't disagree. I mean, both those guys are at the top of the conversation.
I like it.
I
Good
think
pick.
the difference between your argument is two things. Travis Kelce is as good as Tyreek Hill when it comes to catching the ball and catching touchdowns. He's a huge target. He catches the ball in coverage. He catches the ball open in the field, and he
So good.
extends the play. The other argument is that you're basing the stats for a guy who's played 3 less games. Tua went out in a halftime and didn't come back the next 2 games.
That's Patrick Mahomes' fault.
No, but my point is
Then shut up.
he has 2,300 yards to his
Whose fault
2,900
is
yards.
that?
Well, it's not about fault. It's about MVP.
Oh,
it's about the
so-
most valuable player.
Oh, okay. So we take players out of the game. So T.J. Watt,
I
who comes
agree
in,
with Bob.
who
You gotta be there.
T.J. Watt comes in, and every game that T.J. Watt plays, they're 2-0. He has a sack. He has a big play. He's the MVP because he only played 2 games.
No, so like
Okay.
I agree. Availability is part of the criteria. Like you have to be available on the field.
And he wasn't.
But was Tom Brady not in the conversation when he missed 4 games in a season
That's true.
of MVP?
Tua's undefeated when he plays. So.
And Tua's undefeated, and Tua has the most points per game when he's in the game.
And you can make that argument that Tua is there.
Yeah, so
I think he's number 2.
He is,
Pat Mahomes.
I think he's number 1 because you're taking Kelce out of the conversation and you're acting like Tyreek Hill is that much more of a difference.
Is
than
Tua really your guy?
Gesicki.
Yeah,
compared to
Tua would be
Tyreek.
my guy.
I love it.
I'm sorry, because Gesicki versus Kelsey, right? And then who's Kansas City's
Gesicki
number 1
hasn't
wide
shown up
receiver?
at all this year.
At all?
No, he's had like
He's not on the field?
He might have one. No, he would miss like 3 games. So if you're going to talk about availability,
Well, you asked who KC's number 1 receiver is right now? I mean, I think it was Juju before he went to.
I think it was Juju.
before he went to sleep.
I think he had 700 yards. I think prior to.
yeah, it was nasty.
Knocked out. Looked like a UFC fight.
I didn't see that one. Go ahead. What were you saying? So it's one of those situations that I think you can argue that. Ryan, in that case, we all argued for Tua. We got Patrick Mahomes. Who do you have as your MVP?
So, because my guy is Mahomes as well, because he is dominant, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm going to go ahead with a dark horse MVP in Geno Smith.
Oh, that was my second. That was my backup pick. That's solid.
Geno Smith has been balling out this year. Every single analyst,
Yes.
everybody sitting on the QB couches, the couch QBs, everybody's counted this dude out, and he's like, hold my beer.
Which wouldn't that be the reason to be a comeback player of the year?
Sing it,
You
Johnny.
would think. You would think.
He said sing it,
You would think, but he's not really coming back from anything.
right? Because he was never anything.
He's had his opportunities in the league, and he's playing well this year.
There's plenty of players that have won comeback player of the year who have never been out the year before.
And that's fine. And that's fine. There's an argument that he could be a comeback player of the year, but he sucked with the Jets. He sucked with many other teams, and this year it's working. And everything's working and clicking for him. And he's a dark horse guy. I mean, just 6-4. They're winning their division right now.
Oh, they're dominating in their division right now.
They're
just-
winning.
yeah.
They're winning in their division. He's 6th in passing yards.
That's right. How's Russell Wilson doing?
Nothing.
Bum.
He keeps thinking
He's more worried about
making
that product.
Audibles.
Oh, he's doing something.
Russell Wilson's more worried about the product
Psh, let's ride.
himself.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
He's
He needs to
bummed.
focus on football.
Yeah, why don't you throw some touchdowns?
He needs to focus on football.
So
There's
I'm-
no reason for Russell Wilson to be struggling. We
so-
should be talking about Russell Wilson this year in the MVP race.
No,
we should.
shouldn't. No,
we should. Yes,
We should have been.
Be.
We should have been.
No, we shouldn't.
That's
because
exactly where he should
He
have been.
wasn't good in Seattle the last 3 years. We're not going to talk about him. You had to let Russell cook for 8 games, and then boom, he just fell off the charts. John, I'm just going to ask you for your MVP because you got to break this attitude up over here because we have 2 Patties, 2 Tuas, and he took the dark horse just to not be part of the line.
Who's the two
I mean,
pins?
Tua's 11th in pass yards.
Ryan and Bo are.
You can blame it on the 3 games.
Ryan said Gino.
No, well, he took the dark horse on purpose.
Right.
He said two. He said
He said
Patrick
whoever-
Mahomes.
The
Well,
only,
all right,
the only
all right.
categories that Tua honestly is impressed in is adjusted pass yard games.
what's that?
It's basically he's going above and beyond what he's expected. That is about it. That is all that Tua's done. And if you watch the Dolphins games, how many times do you see Tyreek have to stop his route to come back to the ball?
Oh,
to
for sure. There's a lot of yak.
Jalen
There's
Waddle,
a lot
the
of
same
yak
thing.
when it comes
There's
to those
so
games.
much. He's got 2 dynamic wide receivers doing all the work for Tua, and I feel like, honest to God, we could put Jonathan Gesick at QB, and we'd be talking about MVP.
So here, but here's the argument against that, right?
Johnny G at the mic.
Here's the argument against that. The reason why like TJ Watt deserved the defensive MVP last year is because when that dude's on the field, that team literally wins no games. So Tua wasn't on the field, and that's what makes an MVP is when you are on the field,
Teddy Bridgewater is
you
not
win
good.
games.
No.
Oh, okay. So get injured so you can win the MVP. Cool.
I mean, I think availability should be a big factor of MVP. I'm not
It is.
arguing. I'm not
You gotta-
arguing that.
You got to be there. You got to
But
play.
he's not out for the whole season. He played 2. He missed 2.5.
All right,
games.
Pat Mahomes, sit out 2 weeks so you can win MVP.
It'd be irony if he did, right?
No.
No, availability is the best ability based
Yeah.
on what you just told
Gotta
me.
be there.
And Patrick Mahomes is there.
Yes.
We'll see.
He's there.
Let's see. That dude played with a dislocated kneecap.
Johnny, who do you got?
I mean, I could just throw a.
KJ doesn't like
not
being
even
wrong.
say
It's
I
a,
could-
we'll see.
It's not
Instead
wrong.
of,
It's,
like,
it's arguments for and
stats or
against.
whatever.
It's arguments for and against.
No, it's a, we'll see is what you said. You didn't bring any arguments. I didn't do anything. You just said, we'll see.
I brought a ton of arguments.
No, you said, we'll see.
All right. How about yards per attempt? He's averaging 9.1 yards per attempt as opposed to Patrick Mahomes is checked down 8 yards per attempt.
Oh, without Tyreek?
I can bring stats.
Without Tyreek?
Yeah, come on.
He
Let's-
still
let's-
has
let's-
What is this argument without Tyreek? You still have the #1 tight end who plays better than a lot of receivers
Man.
in the entire NFL.
That's true.
Like, there's no without Tyreek. You still have Travis Kelce. Tyreek didn't have as many yards as he currently has
Travis Kelce
when he was
isn't
with
Tyreek
Patrick
Hill.
Mahomes, just an FYI. When he's with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek only had like 1,300 yards. He's already over 1,300 in 8 games.
You want to compare
Is he really?
Tua
Yeah.
this year to Patrick Mahomes with Tyreek is what you're saying?
Didn't he also have?
Is that what you want to
1,000
compare,
yards
KJ?
receiving?
Tell me you want to compare.
Against the Ravens.
I want to hear KJ say he wants to compare Tua to. I want to hear KJ.
No.
Hang on, time out. I want to hear KJ compare Tua this season with Tyreek to any year Patrick Mahomes has had.
I want to hear this too.
Go ahead.
Hold on, one more time. Tua this year with Tyreek.
Versus any year with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek.
I just told you.
You can't include college.
What are you talking about? No,
He's already said it. He's
I
already doing
literally
better.
just said Tyreek Hill has 1,300 yards on this season in 9 games.
Because Travis Kelce's not there.
That's no. You said.
Oh, you want to use Travis Kelce this way,
No.
but not that way.
No, you-
no, I get it. You're fine.
You said.
No, you're fine. You
Jalen
made
Waddle is as dynamic as Travis Kelce.
You made your point. You made your point.
I mean, Jalen Waddle's also doing well. I don't
Jalen Waddle
have
is
his stats
dynamic.
up,
You
but I
made
mean,
your
point.
Kelce.
You made your point. You made your point.
I
No,
actually, yeah,
I won my point.
I think
apparently,
you
because
did.
you're running away from it.
Big time. You
I,
made your point.
all right.
I mean, interrupting the point is not like winning the argument.
What does that mean?
I literally go to make my point, and you made your point. I haven't even finished my statement. You got to finish the statement to win
go
your
ahead.
point.
Go ahead.
There's nothing against Tua. Tua's an extremely accurate quarterback. He has, in my opinion,
Go ahead,
Quote
KJ.
unquote.
No, he is within 30 yards. He has unbelievable anticipation. He can see a route open before it's open. Tua has that knack. He has that
I think
ability.
KJ was going to compare.
But he doesn't have the ability to throw
Jalen
the ball
Waddle
down
to
the
Travis
field
Kelce.
far
Do you
Go
want me to
ahead.
just continue going when you want
Yeah.
to talk about stats?
Go ahead.
We can talk about stats all day. So, how about this? Completion percentage. Tua, 71%.
He's the
Touchdowns.
highest QB rated.
Touchdowns, 18 to 3 interceptions.
That's
Patrick
pretty good.
Mahomes,
Wow.
25 to 7 interceptions.
has
So
18 touchdowns.
8 sacks for Tua compared to 16
yeah,
for Mahomes
because
as
running
well.
backs in the game. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Patrick Mahomes throws for 380 yards a game because they refuse to use the run game.
Yeah, they have good running backs that don't use
They
them.
do.
I don't get
And
that.
Jeff Wilson, by the way, nobody likes Jeff Wilson. Why?
I don't, man. His new
Started.
knees. He gets a new knee every
I
year.
have been starting him.
You have been.
Kills me. I want to like him, but I can't.
All right, so that's all I was saying. Is that
Completion
old.
245 to 176. Attempts 366 to 248.
Missed 2.5.
Yards 2,936 to that.
Right, you're going on
Missed 2.5 kids.
you picked 2 fucking stats
I picked
and didn't
5.
name the rest of them.
I picked 5.
No, what are the other? What are the other?
See, here's the issue: is you're going on totals. I'm going based on productivity.
Yeah.
I went on percentages.
Interesting.
You
Wait,
went on. You went
what
on totals.
percentage? You went with 1% of completion. Right?
Completion percentage, yards per attempt. is
Because
an
he's
average.
only gone for 176 attempts. If I don't play the game, then I guess my percentage stays low.
I would.
Ooh.
100% agree. The more attempts you have, the chances are for more
No,
incompletion.
it's fine. Just sit back and run
I'm
the
not
ball,
arguing
and that way
that.
your percentage stays low, so you can win the MVP.
I mean, that's how.
No,
a
go
lot
ahead.
That's how a lot of quarterbacks win the
Yeah.
MVP. Is they
Oh.
don't make mistakes. Look at
Don't
Aaron
worry.
Rodgers.
I was just gonna say, I'll
Look
fight
at
that
Aaron
argument
Rodgers.
with
5 to 1. I'll bet you 20, so $100.
Tua's not.
5 to 1 to Tua not winning it.
Well, it's based on a vote. It's not based.
Oh.
We-
Okay,
this is just our
exactly.
take. This is
It's a.
Okay.
It's just
Oh,
sports
Yeah,
traders take.
it's just a,
Okay.
It's based
just
on a
a
vote,
You're
so
fine.
it doesn't matter. It's just
You're
a
fine.
take. So, Johnny, who did you say? Because
But-
we still haven't gotten to that
Right.
statement.
But I could just throw a wrench and not even say either of them. However,
You could.
Yeah, say who you want. Go ahead, say Aaron Rodgers. I'll slap you. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'll come across this fucking bar.
wait, if he says Aaron Rodgers, I'm changing mine to Lamar then.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, no one said somebody that
Because
should be in the
he's
conversation.
got
but-
2,000 yards rushing this year.
However, I will say Tua
Oh, wow.
Again.
I did not know that.
undefeated while he's in.
Wow.
I mean, it's up between those two, and I mean, I guess you could throw McCaffrey in, but that would be more of a
McCaffrey?
comeback player.
Come on. I didn't know. I didn't realize we were doing heroin before the
hold
show.
on.
However, there's
What is this?
there's other
I'm not drunk enough.
there's
What is
other
this,
options at running back.
1998?
Say,
Adrian Peterson?
say again.
There's other options at running back that I would take.
For MVP.
For MVP.
No. If
You
we're
realize
talking-
how hard it is for any other skill position to win an MVP other
you'd have
than
to have a
quarterback.
triple count like Cup.
Defensive,
And still, even at
defensive end
that,
can
it
win
didn't
it,
help
but it's
him.
rare.
Who?
Defensive ends can win. It's just very rare. Very
It's super
rare.
rare.
Very.
All right,
like
so-
what? Like
so-
1%?
So you
It's
It's like 1 in every 10
you want
years.
Tua.
Yes,
One in every
I
like
want Tua.
100 years.
Hold on.
Give me Tua. Like you said, undefeated, when he's in, the team is
He
completely.
is
Yeah, I
the
guess that
team's
has
most
nothing to do
valuable
with the
player.
defense or the talent around him.
Their defense is not that good.
Defense is garbage.
They've been giving up 30 points a game almost. It's like 24 points a game. they're
I'm
giving up.
I'm looking at the total side by side. So fantasy points per game, QB2, Mahomes.
that's not fantasy.
QB11. Timeout. Let me finish my fucking argument, dude. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Stop interrupting,
Let him
please.
finish
It's not
his
based
thought.
on
Please.
fantasy points. It's
Please.
based on actual stats.
Please. Fantasy points are a total of projection of what they've done. It's up to you. If you want to let me talk Mahomes, I'll talk Mahomes, and you can get proven wrong. But if you're going to interrupt me, then I don't.
All right. Let's hear it. Let's hear these stats.
Games 9-8. Okay, Mahomes has 242 to Tua's 163. Okay, snaps per game 69 to 56. Okay, they hold the ball longer. Attempts 34 to Tua's 19. Yards 215 on rushing yards to his 35. Yards per attempt 6.3 to Tua's 1.8. Long 20 to Tua's 18. How about a 20-yard run? Does Tua have one? No. Does Tua have a rushing touchdown? No. How about it?
I mean, then if that's the case, then Josh Allen's the MVP.
Yep.
Touchdown 25 to 18.
Hands down. I mean,
Not. You guys didn't say Josh Allen.
Nope.
You guys said Tua.
Well,
That's
no,
who
I'm
I'm
just-
comparing him to.
I'm just defeating your argument because then you literally
How?
just argued for Josh Allen.
There's no Josh Allen argument here. No one brought in Josh Allen.
Mahomes
I
rushes
just disputed
just
Tua.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
Oh,
you
okay,
literally
just
argued
saying.
for Josh Allen.
No, I argued for Mahomes over Tua.
but you made a better bet for Josh Allen.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do the Josh Allen thing.
98 yards is his long pass.
You got it. You know what it is. I trust
still
your
love
ability
that
to
Gabe
find it.
Davis pass.
Gabe
98
Davis.
yards for Gabe Davis. I mean,
No, you guys brought up Josh Allen, not me.
I think we've had enough conversation about the MVP. I'm gonna be honest, like, it's between three guys. Like, I think we can all probably agree that it's probably between Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Tua. Any of those guys, and
That
obviously,
injury to Josh Allen's going to hurt him, though.
but he played decent last.
That's serious. That's a serious injury.
It is.
But he doesn't. His legs are still usable, and
I'm a baseball player. I know how serious he needs Tommy John. And
He
at the
needs
end of the
it?
year-
Because that's what they were talking about, but they didn't say need yet. I haven't heard need.
At the end of the season, I'm almost. I bet you he does get it.
Isn't that a 6-month recovery though?
That's
It takes a while.
well, it takes them out the season for MLB players, I thought.
Yeah.
So like that's going to be a recovery.
So the only other argument, like you said, Mahomes, Tua, Allen. The other person would be Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay. We're gonna dive on this bee's nest.
I'm just saying, just
I'm just
tickling.
not-
Who
like that
really
they
loves
switched from Tua to Josh Allen.
What are they? Are they 8-1? The Eagles.
Yes, they
7-2?
I love that they swapped to Josh
should have
Allen
too.
real quick.
It's not about a swap.
No,
I'm
it's not-
talking about the
No,
three
you swapped.
candidates that are the.
You
First off,
swapped from Tua to Josh Allen. When I mentioned
stop.
rushing.
Stop. I just said you argued for another candidate. That's all I said.
No, I didn't. I
Because
argued for
that
Mahomes
candidate's
over
stats were,
Tua.
but that candidate's stats were higher. That's all I said.
Mahomes over Tua, which you didn't like, so you brought in Josh
No,
Allen.
it has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying the stats
yeah,
you
you're right,
argued
Jonathan.
weren't the
My
highest
bad.
on the board. Then you would have argued for Josh Allen. That's
No,
all I
I'm
would say.
comparing Tua to Mahomes.
Right, and I can have your argument right back is that your argument was based on those stats and my argument was based on these stats. That's the point of an argument.
It's the point of
is
picking
that
stats.
We both pick the stats that matter to those candidates
Yeah.
and what we value higher as an MVP stat.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
So my question is this then. If Mahomes leads in those stats that you don't like for MVP status,
Yeah.
does it matter to you guys? Because you
No.
guys aren't willing to look at those stats because they don't matter to you.
No.
So you only want to look at the stats that matter to you
No.
and not like actual NFL stats.
No.
So
Oh, it's only NFL stats that matter to you.
No.
the stats that matter is productivity and efficiency.
Yeah.
And they're 7-2. What is Tua? Oh, he didn't play in every game.
He's
so
undefeated.
who fucking cares?
And I'm pretty sure they're 6-3 or 7-2. They're right there.
7-3.
So who cares, right?
Who cares? It's what they produce.
And they're on a bye
He's
week
a better
this week, right?
rusher.
So
Yes, they are.
9 to
if
8.
Kansas City loses this week, your argument's null and void with game winning because they're tied. I'm just saying they just had their bye week. It's this week. So my point is that we both value criteria were a little different when it comes to the stats. But my point was, I wasn't switching to Josh Allen. I'm just saying when it comes to the talk.
Nah, that was more me. I did
No,
that.
You guys both did.
No, dude. No, when it comes to the conversation, MVP, you have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Tua are all in that conversation was all I was saying. I don't care about your stats when it comes to the rushing, because rushing to me is not a quarterback stat. I would be picking Lamar Jackson.
No, it's just
all
a
year.
player stat, and we're looking for the most valuable player.
Right, so Lamar Jackson, because they don't win games without Lamar Jackson. To me, that is the most valuable player in the NFL, right?
No, he's the most valuable player to the Ravens.
On the Ravens, correct.
Not to the NFL.
But if the Ravens continue to win and they make playoffs and they do well, it is
He will be there.
most
And it
valuable
is
player to the
And
NFL.
it is week 11.
That's how I look at that.
There
That's
are
what he has.
7 more weeks in this league that it only takes. Tua can play and play horrible. Patrick Mahomes can play and play amazing, and he could go off and he can win the MVP. And I would argue for Patrick Mahomes.
So-
Josh Allen could play out lights out and throw 400 yards a game and rush for 110 yards a game. And I would argue for Josh Allen to be the MVP because when Josh Allen's injured, they have a hard time.
So here's a curveball.
Kirk Cousins is a curveball.
Ooh,
Oh,
that is a
no.
curveball.
If
I'm sorry.
this
Who was
player,
Kirk Cousins.
if this quarter, Kirk Thuggins,
Ooh, I love it. Breaks me every time. Every time I see it.
if this quarterback that I'm about to name
He just
keeps
doesn't
playing
do
the
it.
way that he's playing,
All right, give me the stats, and what are the stats you're going to say? Because we're going to guess it.
so right now he's number 4 quarterback for fantasy points. But I'm gonna read off all his stats.
Kirk Thuggins?
No, 122 completions, 207 attempts, 1,500 yards. I'll round up. But he has 104 rushing attempts for 749 rushing touchdowns or rushing yards, with 6 touchdowns rushing.
This is a quarterback.
This is a quarterback.
Jalen Hurts?
No, it's
And-
Chicago.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
oh my
Justin
God! Is it really Justin
Justin
Fields?
Fields.
With
Yeah, but they're
both
not winning
touchdowns,
anything. He's not going to win
passing,
MVP. He's the best player on the team. Now I see what you're saying.
But
That's a
exactly,
team MVP.
he's the
Yeah.
best player on the team.
yeah.
We're talking league.
Which is
talking
okay.
league
So that was part of my criteria. What I thought.
But
You're
now-
right.
But now it relates to Lamar because he's been putting the team on his back.
Oh yeah.
And without a Mark Andrews.
Right. So, if
And they're still winning.
If Justin Fields is gonna go God mode for the rest of the year
Mark's
without a
number
run
4
game.
for me.
without a run game, would you think Fields would get it?
No.
I mean, he might.
No, Lamar has a better
No.
chance of getting the MVP this year than Fields.
Right, because the Ravens have a better shot
Right.
of advancing to the playoffs and actually doing something. I agree.
Because they're winning games.
What-
Lamar would
I'm
have
sorry.
Lamar would have a better chance than winning Justin Fields would.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 So I mean, don't get me wrong, Justin Fields is having a great year. Like
I mean, yeah,
it just
is.
took him 7 games to figure it out.
yeah, it took him a minute.
So, but we're gonna move on from MVP. I think it was a good conversation. That being said, I think Ryan's gonna lead this one off. Comeback Player of the Year. Ryan, what is your criteria for Comeback Player of the Year?
Criteria.
Yeah. What would you say would you
Gotta
consider
come
a
back
Comeback
from
Player of the
something,
Year?
man. You got to come back. Like Alex Smith. That dude's leg was disgusting.
Oh man,
Still is.
That
Sad
dude
to
come
say.
back.
That poor guy.
You got to come back from something that's stopping you from playing the game,
yeah.
and you don't care, and you still do the damn thing day in day out to get yourself healthy, get yourself
Saquon.
back.
That's my
Saquon.
thought too.
Barkley.
I like Saquon.
Yes, another
Saquon.
guy.
I know when
That's another guy. Yeah, but I'm
Saquon.
gonna say Ronnie Stanley. That dude's
Get
ankle,
I mean,
ankle was severed in half.
You really think that a guy like that, and don't get me wrong, Stanley's done a very good job.
I
but
just-
my point
man,
is,
I
I
hate
he
to
gets
do
the
that to you.
attention.
Can't
He
do it.
had
No, cannot do it.
he hadn't played half the year.
who?
Ronnie Stanley was still hurt this year. He was still hurt, and then he missed out a couple games.
I think
He
it
was
the
in and
first-
out.
It was the first 2 or 3.
I'm gonna get to that.
it-
I'm gonna get to that.
all right, all right.
I'm gonna get to
Sorry,
everything.
I didn't.
All right, let's.
I'm gonna get to
it's your take.
everything.
It's your take. We apologize.
Yeah, Ryan.
So
yeah.
Ronnie Stanley, he's the highest graded left tackle in the NFL
By
this year.
pro who? For who? For who? Sorry.
PFF's got him. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they at 92. That's the highest graded left tackle
For Pro Football Focus.
from the Focus.
The Focus.
The focus.
That's it's unbelievable. The guy's if you saw that injury, if you went to YouTube wherever and looked at his ankle injury, it literally looked like his ankle was snapped clean in half.
Oh.
it was against TJ Watt in October. I'll never forget that game. I watched TJ Watt. He had Lamar and his body he had him by the hips, and he swung across and hit Ronnie Stanley in the lower part of his calf, where the calf meets the ankle.
Tell us
Oh,
how
just snapped it.
It's just
Snapped
buckled.
it clean
It's
in
just
half,
buckled,
dude. It
yeah.
was just disgusting.
Tell us how it is, Randy Savage.
He hasn't allowed a sack or a QB hit this year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that is all right. That's impressive.
That's that.
Not really.
I mean,
I mean, not really.
Well,
It's
on-
Lamar. He's running from the ball half
Oh,
the time.
come on.
Who have they faced to make it worth noting that?
And this to get to Steve's point, this is a minimum of 120 block attempts.
okay.
That's,
So
I mean, that's
out
a
of
lot.
minimum
That's a lot.
of 120. So he's played the majority of the season, right?
But who have they faced, and who has he gone up
It doesn't
against?
matter. So
I technically I don't think it.
every team has a pass rusher.
Right, because it
The
doesn't.
left tackle in the majority of the NFL, the left tackle is the most highest paid offensive lineman and the most important offensive lineman on any team. Correct?
Agreed.
Yes. So
I'm not gonna argue that being a Cleveland fan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joe Thomas. Thank you.
so
I mean, that's fair.
1,300
he's only allowed 2 QB pressures this year. That's 1.7% per pass block
That's
for
that's
Ronnie
insanity.
Stanley.
That's insanity. That's
That's
I
a
feel
good-
like that's not even a real stat. That's ridiculous.
I mean, the guy
That's
missed
fake
2
news.
years of football,
Yep.
broke his ankle in October, came back in 21, was like, dude, I don't feel right. Had corrective surgery, comes back this year and is right back to All-Pro Stanley. The 4th overall pick that we took, he's dominating.
can we talk about your take on Stanley last year?
What about him?
You were done with him.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
Oh.
I never said I was done with
You're
him.
like, dude, Stanley's been a bum. He's been injured. He can't play on the field. We need to find another guy.
Hold on. How old's Ronnie
Whoa,
Stanley?
I
How old
never
is he?
do know. I
How old's
never
Ronnie
said-
Stanley? How old is he?
Ronnie's. I don't know what, like 25.
Oh, he's young.
he's young. He's a young lineman.
He's a kid. I thought he was older. All right.
No.
I think he came out in what 16, 17.
I honestly don't remember when we drafted. It was
I am so
4 years ago. It was 4 years
Came
ago?
out in 2016.
There you go.
See, look
Oh,
at that.
shit.
I was right on the mark.
Missed
That's
2
rare
years
for me. That's you. That's your spot.
It is usually.
Whatever.
Usually.
But go ahead. So any other criteria? Like obviously he's
That was a Jalen Ramsey draft.
hands down the best
And Larry
left tackle in the league right now.
Larry Tunzel draft. Remember the Tunzel came out.
Oh,
and I thought
he had
Tunzel
the
was
gas
the
mask
Tunzel.
on. Oh, he dropped. I remember that.
And it wasn't the 4th overall pick. I think it was the 5th overall pick. And Tunzel I thought was falling. Jalen Ramsey was taken
And
by the
Miami
Cowboys.
got him in like the 11th.
And I thought we were going to
to
take Jalen Ramsey. Hot damn. But
All right,
anyway,
so
that's
you
my
like
take.
Ronnie
I
Stanley.
like Ronnie Stanley this
As a
year's
comeback
comeback
player.
player.
Went with the homer pick.
2 years of football. I went with my homer.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Bo, I'm going to go to you on this one.
Let's do
Who
this.
do you have as your comeback player of the year?
There's 3 guys that I have. Number 1, Gino, because
Love
Gino
it.
was a backup guy, and
Love it.
he's the comeback player, and everybody wrote him off, and he didn't write back. Then there's
Quote, unquote.
then there's the Saquon Barkley play and the Christian McCaffrey play. And if you look at any of those running backs, they kind of nullify themselves as comeback players of the year. And the NFL loves a good quarterback, which is why I'm choosing Gino. But those guys are deservingly so as well.
So, just out of curiosity, because I like the Gino pick. What is your criteria for a comeback player of the year? What do you like in your mind?
They
what
had
makes
to
them-
not be good last year and be good this year.
Okay, so
That's all
being
it
out of the
takes.
game doesn't matter to you.
So Geno Smith falls in your criteria then.
Right. That's what I said.
That's what I said. Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's why I asked, because I think me and Ryan had this conversation the other day.
2021, were you good? No. 2022, were you good?
But
Yes.
what are you coming back from? Just a shitty season?
No. You given the opportunity from being what you were last year and what you are this year.
So I think Ryan's argument is like he couldn't even beat out another quarterback.
Ryan can
to play.
also speak for himself. So
No,
if
but he
Brian
could,
wants to, he can talk for himself. What's up, Brian?
absolutely. But I'm trying to understand. So Christian McCaffrey, I agree with. You know, he comes back. You know, he's out 2 years, knee injury.
Yeah, my fantasy team felt that
Yeah,
one.
same with Saquon. Saquon's had
Yes.
high ankle sprains. He's had knee injuries. He's had, the ACL.
And everybody
blah, blah,
wrote
blah.
the Seahawks off as a shit show.
Yes.
And they
Correct.
turned out not to be,
That was me.
which is kind of
Yep.
exciting.
It is
that this guy
crazy
has
exciting.
brought them
And I touched
in,
on that
and
when
he
I said
maybe.
MVP.
I thought so too. So that's you're just
don't
asking
know.
for reasoning, and I'm giving you
I like those picks.
this is the reason.
But name a time where they've given comeback player of the year to a guy who has been in the league, never really had anything happen to him, but is finally given an opportunity and outshines his previous years. Name a guy that's won that award for said reasons.
I'm sorry, I don't have that information in front of me.
I don't think there is one.
I can go look it up.
usually
It
a
was
guy
kind of
that's come back from
diluted
injury.
as a question, so I can go look it up. I was asked who's the comeback player of the year. I answered.
I know.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
I don't have that.
So hold on.
Maybe I'm just thinking maybe you had a guy.
No,
that-
I don't. The last
like-
person I could think of that maybe had done something like that was like Adrian Peterson.
And
Adrian Peterson won it because he had an MVP year
Like
after
I said,
a horribly torn
I'm not.
knee.
So
His knee blew, exploded.
like I said, it's not like to like. I haven't done enough research to answer your question.
to defend you, Ryan Tannehill won comeback player of the year when he went to Tennessee.
But what's he coming back from?
Being shitty.
I'm just saying, so the winners in the last,
They must not have had anybody else that year.
the winners.
Does it determine like you have to come back from an injury?
No, there's
No,
no.
it's not
That's
determined.
and that's why I asked you what your criteria was.
Yeah, I don't have criteria. My point is, last year
You weren't on the
how
board.
did you produce?
You weren't on the board, right?
This year, how did you produce?
Yeah, I mean,
And like if you look at the differential from last year, how did you produce?
Right.
To this year, how did you produce? You look at three guys: Gino, Saquon, CMC, and you brought up offensive linemen, which is hard to judge, right? As a
such
public
hard-
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
agree.
hard.
But like that's
Hey, I gave you my
that's
reasoning.
I know,
Dude, I love your
and I
I love
didn't
your
say it was
reasoning.
wrong. I'm just saying what mine is.
That's 2 years.
Chad Pennington won
2 years
comeback
of
player of the year.
I
twice.
don't
And
disagree
he
with
comes
your
back to
take.
dominance.
I don't
That's how
disagree with your
shitty he
take.
is.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with your take. My point is what the NFL is going to think.
Did you guys hear me?
And I think that the NFL is going to
Chad
lean
Pennington?
kind of the way I do.
Chad Pennington won?
Won it twice.
Oh, God.
That's how bad you are. Anyway.
That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. They love giving it. They love giving it to a guy that takes shots.
You gotta win. You gotta win an award that a dude loses. He looks like his leg hit was. He suffered a shark attack. That's how bad this dude's leg looks. And Alex Smith, he got it, and you won it twice because you suck.
Another one of my arguments for Ryan
Sorry, that was.
was Michael Vick. Michael Vick didn't
Yeah.
actually have an injury.
You're right. He didn't.
And that was another one of my arguments is that there are guys out
right.
there that do win
I
comeback
guess
player of the
maybe
year.
the NFL looks at it as, what did you overcome?
What did you do last year?
Well,
What did you do this year?
That's why I like the Geno pick. That's why the Geno pick does make sense to me.
I think you here's the thing. You're
What-
looking
yeah.
at it. You're looking at it in the wrong. You're looking at it in the wrong light.
I'm looking
okay?
at it right now how the NFL.
No,
what did
don't
you
look at it at the NFL.
overcome?
That's my problem. Don't look at it at the NFL.
No.
This is a voted on player by fans.
Yep.
So fans don't even know Geno Smith was in a league last year. So according to Bo,
Real
right?
fans of the NFL know.
I know, I get that, but I'm just saying, according to Bo, when people see this guy lighting it up, and they're
Right.
like, he's been in the league for 5, 6, 7,
Bo, is
8
that
years.
Oh wow, where'd this dude come from? He's
He's
30.
player. Or you named off three guys.
No,
No, I
yeah, who
said
is your
it-
guy?
No, it's
It's
Gino.
Gino.
Okay,
It is Gino. Okay.
But I'm saying Saquon and CMC could easily win that award as well.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's just based on like what they did last year and what they're doing.
Look at the
That's still
Giants
my
this year.
view that I
Look how
think-
dominant the Giants are this year. And hats off to Wink Martindale too, by the way, who's turned that Giants defense around. The Giants are playing good football this year.
I
mean,
think they were
I would
bad.
not. If any of those three guys win it, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
If anyone else does, and if Staley does, hats off.
Hats off.
But I don't see that happen.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Right? Like
Coach of the year.
I just see this happening.
So hold on, can I ask Ryan something?
Yeah.
All right, so going off of your, injury, whatever. So if you weren't going to say Ronnie Stanley, right? Because you went with the homer pick.
Yeah.
But that's fair. That's fair. His stats show. Would you? It's a homer pick. I mean, but I also agree the stats show. I wasn't aware of those. I thought that was good stats. However, would you say that someone like McCaffrey is in the running because of injury?
Absolutely. 2 years for McCaffrey.
2 years. busted knees,
Same thing.
blown fantasy
Saquon,
teams.
same thing.
I agree.
Saquon-
I mean,
And that's why I think they nullify each other and why Geno takes the lead.
Oh, you know what? Okay,
Because Geno, you could argue, is the MVP of his team.
Well, no, Geno's the standout
Yes.
in those two, is what he's saying.
I would no.
And
Hold
I
on,
kind of agree
Saquon's
with
right
that.
there. Saquon is literally half of their offense.
No, it's not that. It's that CMC and Saquon are doing the same thing.
They are.
They're coming back from
Yes.
an injury as a premier running back to a playoff team. Congratulations.
Yep.
You guys just nullified
I can agree with
yourselves
that.
for the comeback player of the year because we can't give it to one running back or the other. So then that's what they do. They say,
Because-
here, then we give it to Geno because we don't want to slight either one of you guys.
Yep.
Because you have so many players that are coming back from injury from the same position doing so well, then you have this guy with Geno where he's just out there. He's different than what he has been normally. So I get what you're saying.
No, yeah, absolutely. I
All right.
agree with Johnny.
So, Steve, who do you
Yeah.
have as your comeback player of the year?
So my comeback player of the year, is going to be Geno. I like Geno, and honestly, I was thinking about it, and I off the top of my head, this is poor. I guess you can't say broadcaster, but podcastership. I was also thinking Tua because you don't know how I can't off the top of my head. I don't know how poor he was last year, right? Because they didn't win anything.
I mean,
pretty poor.
Wasn't he fighting for playing time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was getting pulled.
Fitzpatrick was there, right?
Fitzmagic was getting was starting.
Magic.
So I think
I'm mad at that pick.
what?
I said I'm not mad at that.
That's why I think I like Geno. I like his game. I like what he's done because I dogged him when he first came in.
Yeah.
I hated that pick for the Jets. However,
It's funny when you give a guy weapons, what he can do.
I agree.
You give
So-
him a good balanced
so
attack, a good
I-
running game. Yeah,
I'm going Tua. I'm going Tua in my pick.
I like it.
I like the
Wait,
argument.
you went with Tua or Geno?
I'm going Tua.
He's saying
Jeez.
Tua.
Okay.
In
Go with Tua.
Dynasty, I remember when you put two on the trade block, Johnny G. Do you guys remember? I laughed it off.
He's regretting it.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, he's not on there.
I was like,
I know.
still have him.
Everybody in our league wrote him off.
I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, nobody offered.
Tua? What? And it's like
We could have had him for maybe
oh,
a 25
I know.
third.
Right, maybe.
Oh shit, we messed up. Not good. But
Yeah, we screwed up because that guy he's going like 25
no,
points.
commendable
average?
on your part, sir.
Probably.
absolutely.
Close
Commendable
to.
on your part.
So
All
just,
right.
You
just
son of
out
a
of
bitch.
curiosity,
Kudos.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there because
Oh yeah, do it.
I really think Geno is probably hands down kind of the comeback player of the year kind of guy. But I'm gonna throw a curveball in there, and I'm gonna just no.
Stop it.
I'm just gonna say Justin Fields.
Ooh. Okay. I mean,
Justin Fields after
that's a hard
last year was written off, and even at the beginning of this year has kind of been written off. And then I think figuring it out middle of the year, if they continue to win from here on out,
Only if they make the playoffs.
I think
Yeah,
there's a
they got-
division
I
is
think there's a
possible.
difference between
it's
most.
possible in that division.
hold on. I want to hear
The
this.
only way. That,
Our resident Bears fans got some.
No, I'm just gonna say that I think that there's a difference between most improved and comeback player of the year.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, because he was a rookie last year.
Right.
That-
And
that would be my argument.
I don't know if he improved more than what Tua has.
What about Jalen in that situation?
And that's the same thing, right? Exactly. So that's my
'cause
point.
they were talking
When we
about
talk about
drafting a quarterback.
nullifying, Saquon and Christian McCaffrey,
Right.
Tua, and then you look Hurts, and you look at Justin Fields, and you go, they all took a leap forward. Congratulations.
Right.
But you nullify yourselves.
So now you
what do-
understand
what
why I asked you guys criteria prior to making this pick?
yeah,
Because I think you just
progression
said,
is different than comeback.
kind of exactly. That's my point about Geno.
Rhett's point about Geno.
It's
That's
not
my-
progression.
But
Yeah, it
Tua-
is because he got
Tua's
outplayed.
progressing.
He got outplayed.
Geno progressed this year.
No. That's not true.
These guys have been in the league before and have played like
And he wasn't injured,
a
which is your
bag of
point.
a bag of poop,
I'd have to disagree with your
like a
statement.
full bag of D.
Geno
That is what these guys are playing like.
didn't develop. What Geno did is he landed on another team and he proved himself worthy. He had to win out that starting spot. That's the difference. It wasn't a progression where he was developed and they gave him reps and he learned. this wasn't that. He had to earn his spot over Drew Lock.
But he was the better of the two.
That he was the better of the two.
So
what
would you
we
say
know.
And
that-
then to lead in the NFC West.
All right.
That's completely
Hold on.
different than just progressing because you have the starting
Hold
spot
on.
and you're a young quarterback.
So would you say the same thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick that we just talked about? He was a journeyman, but always beat
Why the fuck are we talking about a
his
retired
potential
quarterback?
because everywhere he
This
went
is- it's
was against
Fitzmagic,
rookies
man, in
or
Tampa
younger
Bay.
players.
is why Johnny's on the mic.
Nah,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
it's not
shit.
the same
No,
shit.
I mean,
but I'm
hold
talking
on.
I don't know that
Hold
guy.
on. So
progression
That's
versus
plays.
So
comeback.
to your point, okay.
because he would beat out the starters everywhere he went. That plays.
I
He
get what you're
can't. He
saying.
wasn't progressing.
It's that
I get what
Harvard
you're saying.
education he's got.
But I get what you're saying.
genius.
Here's the argument with what Ryan's saying, and this I truly kind of believe this a little bit is that Geno Smith was on another roster.
Whose
and he
roster?
did
Go ahead.
nothing, right?
Whose
And
roster?
then he went to Seattle and he did nothing, and he couldn't beat out anybody. He couldn't even beat out Russell Wilson, who's not playing in Denver. He's playing, but he's not playing well. Okay.
Okay.
So my point is, he couldn't beat out other guys, and that's the argument. Is that it's not that he's being a comeback player of the year.
China.
It's that he, like you said, is progressing.
He's the most improved player this year.
No,
would
he's
be-
not progressing, and he's not the most improved. He beat out somebody. They didn't develop
Lock.
him.
He beat out Drew Lock.
Yeah, but they didn't develop
I could have
him.
beat out Drew
Teddy
Lock.
Bridgewater
Well,
beat out Drew Lock.
Only thing Drew
Teddy
Lock
Two
knows how to
Gloves.
do is work
That's a
on
lie.
his rapping skills.
What's a lie?
That Ryan
His
could beat
rapping
out Drew Lock.
I could.
I did. Oh yeah, I would.
could.
I would probably agree with you about that.
Give me,
That's
give me
probably
a
lie.
chance.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in.
Be careful. We got.
Drew Lock, if you're listening to this, it's on, bud.
I just like
Me
that
and you.
argument.
He's gonna take your Missouri ass to the
Oh,
mattresses.
I can't
Right.
wait.
That's
you
fine.
calling out Drew Lock like who called out Tyreek on a run
Oh.
a sprint?
Someone called out Tyreek Hill.
This is like last year.
It was
2
probably
years ago.
DK, and I think he got
It was
whooped.
probably
I think it was
Ryan,
DK.
based
Oh,
on what he
no,
just
right.
said.
No, it was no. It was Micah.
Well, first things first,
That's
I'm
right.
smart
it was
enough to know.
Micah Parsons called out Tyreek and said he's not that
And
fast.
Chubb ran
Yeah,
that
and
touchdown.
Tyreek
Oh.
barely ran, and he's like, "I beat both of you guys."
Yeah.
And Chubb
that was during
he-
the skills.
Tyreek
count,
was
right?
kind of shocked at how fast Chubb was. He said he's elusive.
Chubb, oh yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny. That was the skills last year when they
Yeah,
were
I
screwing around. You know what? I think we got a lot of information with comeback player of the year.
Oh, you still got to give his.
Johnny, who do you have as your comeback player of the year?
So, like Bo said before, I mean, there's 3 players. And they're all running backs. It would be Derrick Henry. It would be McCaffrey. It would
what?
Be, McCaffrey only played 8 games.
Derrick
last year.
Henry's not back. 'Cause technically, he got injured at the end of the last year.
He did, but like that's
But
back
where
later.
it's kind of
Reason
confusing.
why-
No, he didn't.
Okay.
I thought he did come back from.
No, he
No,
went
he
out.
did not come
went
back
out,
last year.
He
Did not
went
come
out
back.
and he came back.
Okay.
But here's another
Week
reason
like
why-
14, he was out.
Here's the other reason why I would not pick Derrick Henry. Look what Tannehill did Thursday night. He showed himself that that team is more relevant, other than just giving it to Derrick Henry.
Can I show?
That would be the argument as to why Derrick Henry is not.
Can I-
Saquon is my pick
Okay.
for the obvious reason.
Also, my other runner-up, Travis Etienne.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
okay, because he got hurt. He didn't even play last year. Okay.
And they felt comfortable enough.
Just wanted to
get
throw
rid
that
of-
name out there for like the people, the Jags fans, and those that like.
Bo,
Just saying.
just an FYI,
That's fair.
Derrick Henry did not come back last year. He went out week 8 and never
Week
came
8.
back.
Week 8.
And never came back.
That's a good point.
Cam Akers did come back, and
That's
I
a
think
good
that's
point.
what you were thinking
Okay,
about.
I think that's a good point.
He's bummed. out.
So that is a very good point that Derrick Henry could be the comeback player of the year with a broken foot.
I agree. I agree.
I like that argument.
Shit,
and-
I didn't even think of that.
Now, the only difference between Saquon and Henry right now, statistically,
Honestly, why wouldn't you go with? Oh, all right. Well,
is
Derrick Henry threw for a touchdown.
Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny. Lay it on us, dude. I love football knowledge. Lay it on
let's
us,
go.
brother.
Hit me.
Come on.
Henry
Just
has
go back behind.
4 more rushing attempts than Saquon, but Saquon has 8 more rushing yards. However, Saquon has a lot more pass or receiving yards.
You
He has-
lost me.
He's got
You
46.
lost me. You're going into too much stats. Just
I like
who's
Saquon
better?
because
Who's better
Oh, Saquon. Saquon makes that.
this year?
Yes.
All right, and Saquon didn't play as many games last year,
Right.
so Saquon's your guy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all that needs to be said. Sorry,
Fair
didn't mean to
enough.
cut you short enough.
No,
I just
you're
wanted to
good.
sum it all up.
I mean, more touches. I get it. So I mean Saquon in my opinion.
But I also understand Derrick Henry.
Right.
And Travis Etienne, right?
That does make sense.
I do
That does make sense.
Like a bring it up guy.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna take this forward a little bit. We're gonna jump into this week's 1 o'clock games, and we're gonna go over some of this stuff. We're gonna take a quick second break while this overlays up, and I'll talk while this overlays up. And we're gonna take a breather here for a second while I'm commentating these games. So the 1 o'clock games are Chicago, Atlanta. We have Carolina at. Do you have these correct at stats?
Yes.
All right, because I had to adjust them earlier. So we got Chicago at Atlanta. We have the Carolina Panthers at Baltimore. Mm-hmm. We have the Browns at Buffalo. Mm-hmm. We've got Washington at Houston. Mm-hmm. We've got Philly at the Colts. Mm-hmm. We have the Jets at the Patriots.
Right.
We have the Rams at the Saints. Mm-hmm. And then we have the Lions at the Giants.
Okay.
So talking about these games, Bo, just off the top of your head, kind of what game sticks out to you the most here?
I kind of like these all because you don't see a huge game, but I really do. The Jets at New England is obviously a divisional rivalry, so that's the game that pops out for a 1 p.m. watcher because you're like, man, the Jets defense, are they real? And
I agree.
New England is Bill Belichick, and the Jets don't beat Bill Belichick, and they're at home, so that's kind of fun. The Buffalo game has been on the news and on your social media feed all week, which is kind of cool. So maybe that's a game that you're watching at 1. The other one that I would highly recommend is Bears in Atlanta. As weird as it sounds, these defenses suck. So I feel you want to watch a lot of touchdowns.
Right.
This is a fun game to watch because it's two sucky ass teams going head to head.
And they've been scoring nonstop.
And that's what I'm thinking. The game that I probably am least likely to watch out of all of these is probably, I know this is weird, Rams at Saints. And here's why. When I turn that game on, there's no Cooper Kupp.
Matt Stafford's back, though, I think.
Cool.
They both have 3 wins, and that's it.
I just like that look. I wish people could have seen that look on his face because it was the most disgusted look he's ever given.
I don't understand the appeal to this game outside. I like watching games in the dome. That's fun, but I think that the Rams and or the Saints and it's a scoring game. It's not what I want to watch. I don't know. I'd rather watch. Any other game, to be honest. I'd rather watch Washington, who just beat the Eagles, dominate the Texans.
It's funny that you say that. So, that game right there, I think is going to be an underrated game.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know what's funny? The Texans last year beat Washington.
Any of these games.
And Washington just beat Philly. So, Washington was the team to upset the number 1 team in the NFL. So I kind of think that's an interesting game to pop into, right?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And you asked me last year, the Rams Saints game is probably my must watch game.
Oh, for sure.
And this year, it's probably my least favorite game on this slate.
That's crazy.
I would completely agree with you. All right, so that being said, we're gonna kind of go through these games a little bit, real quick. All right.
There we go.
All right. We're gonna do a quick pick 'em, and if we have a consensus where we have a pretty decent agreement, we're gonna talk about that game real quick. All right. So I'm gonna go in order with these games. Can I get that overlay back up real quick?
Yes, you can.
So for the first 1 o'clock game, we're gonna talk about Chicago and Atlanta.
It's a good overlay, guys.
Bo, who do you have in this game? Being our Chicago fan.
Well, I think that Chicago. I think that Chicago can win this game. I don't think that they do. They really like their draft pick. They want to score, but they don't want to win. So I feel like this is a team that scores and doesn't win. So I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to take Atlanta because I feel like the defense is abysmal, and I also feel like that the Bears they're like, yeah, let's just get a draft pick and like it doesn't matter for Justin Fields.
I don't know.
All
If
right,
I heard it.
I like it.
What's the over?
Well, he didn't say the over. He said he's going to
49 and a half?
He said he's going to take the over. Is it? No way. Is it that high?
Yes, it is. I could have. I know it's high.
All right.
So now I'm speaking up my ass.
We'll bring that up. But that being said, Steve, who do you got in this game, real quick?
Bears.
You got the Bears in this
The
game?
Bears.
It is 49 and a half.
49 and a half
go.
for the over.
Let's go. You and I
Holy
talked
cow.
about it last.
Did you say
Let's
you're
go.
taking? So you're taking the over. You're taking
Yes.
the over.
Oh, for sure.
I'm taking it. Yep.
Who do you have in this game?
Real quick, that's not that high.
No, it's not.
at
But
all.
it's you're,
That's what I'm saying is like
It's 24, 27.
Chicago's put up like the last 3 games like
30
35
points.
points.
All right, so,
Yeah.
so, real,
Atlanta's
all
put
right,
up
so,
like
so you want to
24,
hear my
so-
score then? You want to hear my score real quick?
Yes.
Just real quick. 35-30 Bears.
Da Bears.
It's gonna be a 65-point game. I mean, what they put up last week? It was almost 80 points last week.
just because you guys are saying that I'm taking the under. But go ahead, Ryan. Who do you have in this game?
I got the
defenses
Bears
suck.
32-21.
Ooh.
That's the over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I hate you guys. I got to take the under in this game just because that consensus, the last few games that have been that like clear cut, like everybody took the over, they've been low scoring games. Yeah. So if I had to pick anybody in this game, I'd say
Do it.
Do it.
I'd say Chicago 24-21.
Ooh.
I got the Bears 32-20. But I really do think that.
Did you just change your pick?
Wait, hold on.
I didn't have them like in front of me, my notes in front of me.
Okay.
I had the Bears 32-20,
Yeah, you do.
With the over, okay.
but I'm saying like I can easily see the Bears saying, "Hey, we want a draft pick and losing this game," but it's going to be high scoring.
Dirty.
I think that's a fan want right there. Like, give me the offensive
No,
line.
they're going to
Dirty.
score, and then they're going to let Atlanta score. That's why I'm taking the over.
All right.
The over's more important to me than the Bears win or loss.
All right. Johnny, who do you got in this game?
I'm going to say Atlanta, and
All
I'm
right.
going to say 25-21.
All right. I think Bo kind of cleared that game up for us with explaining why he thinks Atlanta and why everybody else thinks Atlanta. So we're gonna move on to the next game because well, hold on. Let me back up for a second. The Atlanta game does matter for Atlanta because if Tampa Bay
Right.
struggles, like Atlanta kind of
And
has
the
to win
Bears
this
are
game.
okay with that, letting that happen.
Yeah. So I think this is I have to have more game for
Right.
Atlanta, and I can understand that argument.
And then the
Yeah.
Bears saying like,
So-
"Hey, we'd rather have a draft pick than give a fuck about like
Right.
the Vikings are gonna win our division and like no one else is getting a wild card game
All right.
out of our division."
I like that argument.
So I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's get a draft pick and give Atlanta the win, and it's like just right timing. So
all right.
Real quick. I just want to touch on something real quick.
go ahead.
If Atlanta does lose this week, do they see what they have in Ritter?
Ooh.
They
No.
need to because
One more week.
Kyle Pitts is
One more
under.
week.
He's under you. I mean, you have your best player on your team.
It depends on what Tampa Bay does. Because if Tampa Bay loses this week, they're still only a game out.
Okay, that's a fair statement.
But
But I mean, why?
they're so far behind. Tampa Bay isn't very good this year. They're like the second tier of teams.
You know what's disgusting is if Tampa Bay loses, Atlanta loses, and Carolina wins. Carolina's
I know,
in second
and
place.
and Tampa Bay
it's
can
so
just
disgusting.
Tampa
that
Bay
Baker
has the
Mayfield can make the
ability to
playoffs.
kind
right.
of squip the
All right,
division.
if Atlanta loses, they're 4-7. Okay.
Right.
So I don't think that's cause yet. I think that it'll come later on.
When is it cause to
it-
see what you have in Ritter to
When they're-
maybe see?
When
Man, we have something.
When they're out of the playoff race.
it's when they lose this game. It's
So
when they
that's what
lose
he
this
asked.
game.
That's what he asked.
Not
That's what I
win.
asked.
Not win.
That's what I
If they
asked.
lose this game,
That's what I said. When,
it's a Ritter thing.
If
If
they
they
lose
win
this
this game, then it's a let's continue, boys.
So that's a hot take right here.
Does that
today,
make
guys.
sense,
We
Ryan?
have if Atlanta loses this game, Desmond Ritter comes in, and if Atlanta wins this game, Mariota
it's
stays
not
on the
a
field.
it's not a sure thing.
it's nothing is a sure
think-
thing.
no,
in the
I said it's
NFL.
a hot
But
take.
but
I said
I
it's a hot
also
take.
understand.
Kind of like
Right.
taking Justin Gilbert in the first round. It's
Stop
not a
it!
sure thing.
Stop
ball
it!
is
Why don't
so
you
close.
stop attacking me?
All right.
That ball
Anyways,
is so close. All right, go on to that next game because
Yes.
we're done with that one.
Next, we're going to review all the Ravens wide receivers in the
Just for
draft.
this, I might change my pick out of spite on this game, but Carolina at Baltimore.
okay.
We're gonna flip the switch and we're gonna go to Ryan because he's the resident Ravens fan.
Resident
Who you got?
Ryan.
Is it the Ravens game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we seriously going to spend a lot of time on this?
No, we're going right to you.
All right, perfect. Ravens.
Bring that overlay back up.
What's the score?
Who they playing?
What's your
A lot.
score? No, that's not a score.
28-10.
That's not a lot. That's an under.
Oh, well, see, yeah.
Well, the Ravens don't do over.
Well, the Ravens
We
34-13 Ravens.
Ravens 30. Listen here, Mean Gene. The Ravens always lean on the run game.
That's it.
They rely on the defense, baby. Yeah.
From here on out, all your picks have to be in
34-13 Ravens.
34-13
35.
Ravens.
34-13 Ravens.
Woo!
So 30. Wow.
I'm here for that. I'm
What's the
starting
over
Lamar
on that
this
game,
week.
bro? Do you know? All right, Steve. What do you got for this game?
Oh, for this game, I'm going Baltimore.
That's
44.
I mean, I know
44 is the over.
I'm a pizza, but
That's about right.
It's Baltimore should win this game.
All right, what's your score?
I'm gonna go 28-17 Baltimore.
28-17. Johnny, what do you got?
I'm going to say 28-10. Baltimore.
Everybody going Baltimore. I hate that I have to go Baltimore.
Guess I like that. I like that score, bud.
24-21 Baltimore.
You think it's gonna be that close?
That
really?
close.
I mean, I gotta be honest. They've made so many upgrades to that defense. The defense should like stop.
I don't think it has. I don't
By the
think
way, Bo, thank you.
Yeah.
I know you have no affiliation to
I hate
that organization other
Chicago
than being
for
a
just
fan,
giving
but
up everybody on their defense.
That Roquan Smith played well
right.
in his first game.
Yeah, he
So
did.
that-
He's so good.
That's a quick. We all picked the Ravens on that one. We don't have to go over picks. I mean, we all picked different scores, but next game is the Philly at Indy. We're gonna go with Steve on this one. Steve, who do you got in this game?
It's Philly. They're pissed off. They lost to the Manders. It's Philly 28-20.
I can't believe they lost.
Damn.
You know,
I don't think I can. Taylor Heineke.
I'm almost exactly what he said.
that's a division game.
Give me 27-17. So I'm right there with him with
Love
the
it.
Eagles.
Love it.
Ryan.
Yes.
I'm not going to waste time on this. Eagles, I think it's going to be. The defense is kind of suspect. I'm not going to lie. They're missing Jordan Davis.
Eagles?
That guy was stuffing the run.
They are missing him.
Well,
They are.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles 22-13.
Well, they did sign the Ndamukong Suh.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Did
they
they?
did.
Yes.
just sign-
I missed that.
They
Well-
signed him 3 days ago.
I'm pissed I missed that.
Yeah,
That's a
3
good
days ago.
signing. He's a good run
That's a
player.
good sign.
Oh, yeah, they also got another Linval Joseph as well.
Linval, that
Yep.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Back-to-back days.
Johnny.
Wow.
Got to be the Eagles. I'm going to say... I'll say 24-10.
This is my.
See that? They're recognizing the issue and they're attacking the problem.
This is my upset of the
Unlike
week.
That's
everything
what a
the Browns have
good
done.
organization does.
This is
Hold
my,
on.
this
Especially
is
with
my
the
upset
playoff
of the
ready.
week.
Yes.
He said
They're preparing.
upset of the week.
Upset of the week.
Upset of the week.
I got the Colts winning this game, and it's going to be 24-17.
Choose.
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday. He's gonna do it again.
Jeff
Huh?
Saturday.
He's gonna do it again.
Hold
Huh?
on.
This
Speaking
one.
of-
This is my upset of the week.
Saturday.
Speaking of, did you guys see that hiring is under investigation?
Yeah.
Oh, what is like tampering?
Is it because he's white?
No,
Oh, the
Thank-
Rooney Rule.
I think no. I don't
No,
think
you
that.
just read the Twitter article, and that's fine.
I didn't read into it. I all saw the headline
All right.
was that it's
Well, next
under
time you-
investigation.
There it is, and that's what I love. Just leave it at that.
Next time you bring that up, give me more information that
No,
is real.
hell no. Let him look it
Damn
up
it.
himself.
All right, so whatever.
how dare you only give us the green?
All right,
The headline.
and I'm just going to tell you the reason I picked the Colts is I think Jeff Saturday's kind of changed that
No,
offense
it's
a little
because you're
bit.
the Jonathan Taylor fucking fantasy owner, dude.
Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with that. It has to do with Jeff Saturday on that team. That team looked way better last week. I do think the Ndamukong Suh thing kind of throws my decision off a little bit because they do lean heavy on the run, the Colts. But outside of that, I think that the Colts still have a chance to win this game. And Matt Ryan has thrown over like 2,400 yards, and he's only played 7 games. So like they get the ball downfield.
He's been dogged pretty hard
And
too.
Philly
so far,
and
so.
Philly gives up like 20 points a game.
But let's agree. The Colts are better with Matt Ryan in the game.
At the helm?
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Sam Ellinger is garbage.
Ellinger?
He
Damn
is.
it! Is it Ellinger? Stop doing. I do this every show. Stop.
matter what you say, I
You're
say
killing
it
me.
either way.
Ellinger is a
Ellinger?
hot pile of garbage.
Ellinger?
All right.
So, it is because of the Mooney Rule for his
Rooney. It's Rooney.
He said Mooney?
He said
Like
Mooney.
Darnell
The Darnell Mooney rule. The Darnell Mooney.
The Darnell Mooney rule.
Yes,
He's
the
black.
Rooney Rule.
Right on.
Yeah.
So,
It's all right. It is what it is. There's too many black head coaches in the league. So let's keep going.
Oh
Is that a
God.
shot at the NFL?
There's a shot at the NFL. Who cares? Hire on merit, you bitches.
anyways,
Yeah, higher on merit. Thank you.
We're
Ron
gonna go-
Merritt, I agree with that.
We're going to go to the Washington-Houston game. I mean,
You mean the Manders and Manders game?
yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fun game. Johnny, I'm going to go to you on this game. Who do you got in this game?
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna say Commanders.
All right, what's your score?
I'm gonna say 18-7.
Oh,
I mean, that's fairly possible. I mean,
Yeah.
2014. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
what did you say?
2014.
Okay. I mean, that's a bit of a gap, but still one score, right?
No, 2014 is less than a touchdown.
Right.
An extra
But
point.
it's still one score.
All right.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders are physical. I think that this game is kind of like the defenses do what they're supposed to do. A lot of punting, a lot of back and forth, a lot of turnovers, but not scoring. So
I don't believe in Davis Mills.
Ryan, what do you got in this game?
Sam.
No Derek Stingley, so fantasy owners.
Oh, God!
McLaurin,
Is Stingley out?
He's
fantasy
good.
owners of McLaurin,
Gosh.
feel free. Not like you were gonna bench him
Eat it
anyways.
up.
Give me
Stingley's out.
18-13.
Okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Man.
Sanders?
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys just before I go to Steve. Which defense is better last week, Philly or Houston?
I don't know who they played. That's such a weird, like...
Yeah, me either.
I'm saying overall, like before
don't
the
know.
signing
go,
of Philly.
like, play-
I have to see who played. I don't know.
Philly better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just curious.
Give me Philly's defense over Houston.
Philly's defense over Houston's, right?
Yeah, I mean,
All right, Steve, who do you got in this game?
it's Manders. Manders 24-13.
24-13? I say I like that. I like that better.
Manders win. If Manders lose this game but beat the Eagles, I think that Carson Wentz starts when he comes back.
So the Commanders need this game, right?
I mean,
They want to win a wild card playoff spot, yes.
Yes.
I got Manders, and I got them 24-10. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think Houston played against the Giants and they lost 24-16 last week. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take
the
the Eagles.
Commanders played the Eagles and went 32 to
24,
21.
21. So the only reason I asked that question is because we all had
good.
the Commanders as a low scoring game.
You're good.
And they're playing a half as good defense.
Yeah, but the
Right?
I mean, it's 20. I don't know. It's 24.
But when you're winning against a team,
You run.
you run the ball.
you run the ball. I'm not
And
arguing that.
That's my point.
I'm not arguing that.
Brian Robinson's gonna have a big week.
I think so too.
All right, let's go to the next
I would
game.
say Gibson has a big week.
Yeah, I would say both of them play them if you have them.
Play him.
I like that. I like
And
that.
Scary Terry. I like it.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
Scary
so what
Terry.
you're saying is
I
play the
actually like
entire
Scary
Commanders
Terry.
offense.
I almost like that whole
All the
offense.
time.
I mean,
Play the
yeah.
whole
yeah.
offense.
All the time, Scary Terry and Jahan. If he does play, Jahan Dotson's
Is he
a
still
nice.
out?
Give me
He's,
James.
Listen.
he's a nice little flex play if you have him.
People sleep on Curtis Samuel. All right. He had a down week and he dropped out. He was receiver 13 2 weeks ago, like on the season up until 2 weeks ago. So people sleep on
He's
him.
done for the year.
No.
Yeah.
Done for the year?
I'm
Going
just
good
saying,
before
when it
he's
comes to
injured.
fantasy,
Too soon.
He's done for the year. But let's go to the next game. We got Rams Saints. We had this conversation with Bo a little bit earlier. This game is kind of like it doesn't really even matter. Both these teams are bottom of their division. So, and I don't even think they're going to compete for playoff spots or wild card. I'm going to go with you on this one, Steve. Who do you take in this game?
I'm going to New Orleans, 24-20.
All right, Bo.
I like New Orleans defense, somewhat.
You like New Orleans defense?
Somewhat. Not all the time.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna double check it real quick. I want to say. Let's take a look here. Saints 22, Rams 17.
Nice.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Check down to our boy Kamara,
Love it.
and then like the Rams defense
Bo, real quick,
trying to figure it out.
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why do the Saints try to not use him as much? Is it a? I mean, you're not a playoff team. Let's be real. Let's be real. You're not a playoff team.
Let me explain.
Why don't you give him more touches?
I can explain that.
They're benching.
Put him everywhere.
No, let me explain that.
They're benching.
They're no. Time out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's two. KJ, I agree, but also let me explain. Alvin Kamara is on a weird boundary. He's sitting on a fence post, right? You'd think that because of the legal allegations
Fence post.
that are there, that you should be playing him to his maximum.
But you're paying him $80 million over like 7 years.
Oh, well.
So the argument here is why aren't we overutilizing him, right? And I think that I'd say it's because he's got enough money to have the case dismissed, and they want him to stay there, and they want him to be good for the long time. But also,
Cash
but
money.
hang on, time out.
All right.
From the other aspect, it's hard to say that, like, he is as good as he's ever been. Because of, like, what they've done. I don't know.
I love that you brought the allegations. Well, it's not really allegations because there's video out.
Right, but he might have enough money to fight the case and win it.
To pay it off.
Right, absolutely. And
then, like, the Saints don't want to be left with overly tread.
Wash it under the rug.
and I get that, but you know what? You're not gonna. There's a good chance that you might not have him for. Let's just go ahead and say maybe 6 to 8 games next year, right?
Should be 11.
Yes.
No, he might be in for all of them.
It could be.
Should be 11.
Could
Put a
be.
guy in
He
the
might be
hospital.
there for all
So
of
why
them.
not
He
just
might.
why not just overtread this dude? Because he's gonna have a.
Because you're paying
You're saying
him.
a full year of non-treading.
Because you're paying him over the next 4 years another $55 million.
He gets a whole year
I
rest.
think
I'm not
it's-
arguing that.
I think it's what we just saw in the Titans Green Bay game.
right.
When you know where the ball is going, you know where the ball is going.
But they have other players.
They no.
get your-
Time out. They have one other player. And you're right. They have one other player.
No,
it's
Johnson.
not other players.
John Johnson.
Mike Thomas is not there.
The true.
Mike Thomas
Johnson's had good games.
If you know where the ball's going, you don't think that the defensive coordinator knows where the ball's going. It's hard. It's just hard.
Joe
That's all
Woods
I'm
doesn't
saying.
seem to know.
In a good offense, a good
You know what I
team
mean, right?
gets a player touches, finds a way
Yes.
to get a guy touches.
I can't argue
That's
that.
what a good team does. A good team finds a way, like Andy Reid, and I know I'm describing.
Go ahead.
I'm comparing an Andy Reid
No,
to
you're
a
fine.
Dennis Allen.
You're good.
But
who?
I'm saying Dennis Allen.
I know.
One trick pony. We got you.
But I'm just saying, like
Nobody here.
a good team finds a way to get a guy in space with the ball, like a Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows Tyreek Hill is dangerous. He's elite. He's the guy that we need to stop. And Andy Reid's like,
The cheetah.
hold my beer. I'm gonna get this dude the ball.
I have so much I've got so much I agree with you, and I also so heartily disagree because of like Nick Chubb
What?
and like thinking
wow.
like
They need to
when
give
they
him the
know
ball more.
that they know that Nick Chubb is supposed to get the ball,
It's
right?
different. I mean, it's different.
You know what I
philosophy,
mean?
man.
Like he's supposed to get the ball.
To Ryan's defense, like Andy Reid is one of the
You're
greatest
right.
coaches of all time.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm with
on.
you. Like, he's supposed to get the ball, but if the
Stefanski
defense
sucks.
knows
He's
that
dog
he's
shit.
getting the ball, then like you got a one-trick pony.
So my point
it's
is,
hard.
My point is, I agree with Ryan on
He's
this
not a
situation.
one-trick pony.
Andy Reid is a great of all time. Stefanski.
Oh, is he? Who's his running back over the last 3 years that's done something?
Can
Over
I
the
ask
last
you a
3?
question?
You can't be the greatest.
I'm just saying. I don't.
You
his
brought up- you
because his
brought up-
running back used to be really
I love
good.
it.
His running backs used to be awesome,
You mean Patrick?
and then they're
Mahomes?
not anymore.
No, he's Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Oh yeah. Well,
His running back's Patrick Mahomes.
his running back is.
I mean, he.
and it should
But
be Isaiah
all I
Pacheco.
was
It should
saying,
be Isaiah
and
Pacheco.
I'm not comparing Andy
dude
Reid
is
to a
dynamic.
Belichick.
No,
That's
I'm
not-
just
that's not
saying you
arguing.
don't know what the defense is planning for.
But my argument is that we're not
Alvin
comparing.
Kamara is something that we know
Stefanski-
needs
I
to be
know we
planned
planned
for.
for that. I know.
Stefanski's
If
not a
teams
good
playing for Nick Chubb, and he still dominates.
Yeah, Stefanski's not a good coach, but like you said, Nick Chubb's still averaging 6 yards a carry. You're going to tell me Stefanski's a good coach when he's lost majority of these games and the offense has been performing?
He's not a good coach.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't you're retaining the ball almost 35 minutes a game and you still can't win games?
You want that argument? We can have that argument.
No, we
It's not
can
gonna
have that
happen
another.
now.
Yeah, we can have that another day.
Let's have
But
it.
my
It ain't
point
this.
is what that he was making was that if you have a stud on your team and you're paying that stud, find a way to get the ball into the playmaker's hands. Yes. That's the point. And I would agree with that. Kamara is a playmaker. Michael Thomas is a playmaker. Now, Michael Thomas has already opted out on this team, it seems.
Guess how you win.
He's done.
Guess how you win. Guess how you win. You win with Ryan Tannehill throwing 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
And that's a good
you
argument.
beat Green Bay Packers at home without using Derrick Henry to the fullest of his ability because the defense knows that they're going against Derrick Henry and his full ability. And so you utilize that with a play action and you throw deep and you win the game.
I would argue.
So that's my only argument to say, like, we just saw when a team knows what you're going to do, how to utilize that against them.
I would argue.
So it's hard to say exactly what to do.
I would argue that Derrick Henry still had 2 touchdowns in that game. He threw a touchdown. So Derrick Henry
Yeah,
was
that's
still...
a red zone premier player. I'm not going to disagree with that.
All right.
Because the defense is soaked in on his ass.
So
they're the ones that are eyeing him down. The pass that he threw was a play action pass.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I understand what you're saying, and he's also the best at getting touchdowns.
Just let you know, we spent
In
way
the
too
red
much
zone.
time on this.
I'm not
game
saying
game.
that.
Yeah, we're not even talking.
We don't
about
even have scores yet.
So we're gonna. No, we do have scores.
You did not put in yours.
I'm gonna say mine real quick.
All right, Johnny, what do you got in this game? Saints, Rams.
Saints 24, Rams 14.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I like how the defense just constantly scores 24 points on the Saints. So everybody's
Did I
like,
pick mine yet?
yeah, you did. If you're the first
well,
one.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did.
Saints 15,
I was the
13.
first one I thought.
He said Saints 15-13.
There you go.
I got Saints in this game, and I have them 17, 10.
This could be a baseball game too.
17th. This could be a baseball game.
9-7.
Yeah.
That's your actual score. Okay.
You should have said.
No. I'm just saying. That could be.
You should have said like 7-2.
Oh.
It's a game.
7-7.
I love those safety games. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next game. This is a fun game.
Yup.
Jets Patriots. This
Yup.
is a division game. This is a play for wild card, play for first place, play for I don't know whatever they want to play for because everything matters in this game. Jets Patriots. Johnny, who you got in this game?
Ooh, I gotta say the Jets.
You got the Jets in this game. What's your score?
I'm gonna say 21-15.
All right.
Jets.
21-15.
Oh, who do you got in this game?
Jets. 1960. Jets. Jets. I'm right there with you.
Wow. Steve, who do you got?
This is our game of the week.
We'll get back to it. That's
right.
why we're gonna hold off.
21-17 Jets.
21-17 Jets.
Jets. Jets.
Ryan, who do you got in this game?
I'm a little concerned
Got a hot dude.
because I saw a stat that Zach Wilson is the worst under pressure.
He is. Oh yeah.
He's the worst under pressure. And Belichick, we all know Belichick. He's a
Loves
defensive-minded
it.
guy. I'm still going with the Jets.
Oh wow. Dirty.
Jets.
Dog.
18-12.
Love it.
I love it. All right,
Well, hold on. That means we got
here I go. Here I go.
Jets.
one guy taking.
Patriots.
Except
And I was taking them from the start.
Okay.
24-17 Patriots.
Guys, everyone,
We flipped
KJ gets all of our picks and then looks at him and then picks the
No,
opposite.
I actually had the pick written down
Yeah.
at the start of the day.
yeah, I will confirm.
Yeah, Patriots at home. It's easy.
KJ's
It's obvious.
Patriots at home.
Patriots at
Yes,
home.
it's
It's so
At home.
easy.
They're like the gas company.
It was the easiest pick on your fucking card.
It's like the gas company. I'm done with this.
I
We're
love
gonna
it.
get back to this game on the game of the week.
Yes.
What do we got for the next game? We've got the Browns Bills.
Which is also a game of the week.
We'll get back to that one because we've talked about that one a couple times. We'll get into the scores later too.
Man, this one hurts.
Detroit Giants. Bo, who do you got in this game?
Let me take a look real quick.
All right, Steve, who do you got in this game?
I have. I had to say it.
Bo had to pull out his hand.
I'm going Detroit, guys. I'm going Detroit.
You're going Detroit with
It's
the
gonna.
upset.
It's gonna
Okay.
be. It's gonna be a very high scoring game. I'm going 35-32
too.
Detroit.
35-32.
35-32.
Wow.
Detroit puts up
big
points.
one.
Bo, what do you got in this one?
28-23 Giants.
Yeah.
28-23 Giants. All right. Ryan?
I got the Giants as well. 24-21.
Yep.
All right. And Johnny, who do you got?
I got Giants 28-21.
Yep.
Ooh. And I actually have the Giants also, and it was 24-21.
I mean, I like the Giants. Like I said earlier, Wink's done a great
You're the Giants also?
great
Yeah.
job with that defense.
Yeah, you're the standalone.
Goff
I'm it. I'm the only guy taking Detroit, huh? All right, I'll be a Dan Campbell stan.
I'm
All
not
right.
familiar with Goff's home road splits, but I know I like Goff more in Detroit than I do on the road. So
Yeah, Dome definitely helps that guy
So
out.
just out of
That's true.
curiosity, get through this one real quick. Why pick Detroit?
I like their balls.
Where do I take that? Offensive or defensive balls?
They got it.
oh yeah,
They play hard. Oh yeah, they play hard for Dan.
This thing's
They play hard, man. I like the way they play. I don't think their defense is garbage, but Hutchinson, he can do what he's doing, and he'll be okay. Their offense puts up. They score. They score points.
They do score points.
They score a lot of points. I think if they get a stop, if they can try and hold Saquon 1-2 drives, they got a shot.
Is
No,
Chark
this is a
healthy or
horrible
not?
matchup for them.
You're trying
Chark
to stop.
back?
This is a bad
Chark's
matchup for them.
All right, so Chark's back, right?
I don't know if he doesn't move the
Josh
needle.
Who?
Josh Reynolds they activated
Who
DJ Shark and Josh Reynolds.
cares?
All right, so
Exactly. He doesn't move the needle.
Well, their entire deep.
He doesn't move the needle. No,
I don't think he doesn't move
he
the
does
needle,
give him another dynamic to this offense.
and it gives Amon-Ra less double coverage.
Amon-Ra St. Brown had his best games when DJ Shark was in the game.
Yep.
That's fair.
Because he is a north-south stretcher.
Yeah. So that's kind of my argument.
He falls into your Christian Watson.
It doesn't
dynamic.
matter when Saquon's rushing it down your throat because you're the worst rushing defense in the NFL, and they just control the tempo
agree
and
with
just
that.
fucking leave your offense off the field on the
So-
sideline, but just being like, oh my
was your
gosh,
score, Bob?
I wish we could play.
What was your score?
28-23, Giants.
I mean, that's a high score for a rushing defense game.
Right.
Oh, I agree. Here's what the Lions can do. They're explosive, and they may answer back fast.
But
But the defense gets weaker.
DJ Shark is a good
I
player.
understand. They answer
to a
back
certain
fast.
Degree.
No, they can answer back fast, right? Hey, I'm gonna body you. You know what you're gonna come back and do? You're gonna punch me in my nose. But guess what? I'm not gonna lose.
Bodies at the
So hey, just throwing this
Does
out.
that
there-
make sense?
Just throwing this out there real quick because I liked how you brought up the stats about the rushing yards. They're both averaging the exact same amount of rushing yards per carry per offense.
Not per offense. Look at the defense of letting up.
I agree.
That's where I'm saying that Saquon has himself a steady day, and they are the steady
had a steady
scorers,
day all-
and then the Lions answer back quickly.
Right. I agree. I agree that it could be a very high rushing game.
But the
And-
Giants end up winning.
And they're both dynamic in the
But the
pass
Giants end up
as the
winning.
rush. I'm a Giants fan, but what I'm saying is that when DeAndre Swift
seventh?
gets that rock,
And as far as fantasy goes, they're seventh.
who?
The Detroit. They
Detroit
give up
what?
the most seventh. They give up the seventh.
Most
seventh
rushing yards per
22nd?
game.
Help me.
Yeah,
They give up
seventh most rushing yards.
per game. What about the
No,
Giants?
the seventh most fantasy points.
Two rushing.
Two running backs.
Yes.
What about the Giants?
What about the Giants?
Well, I mean, it kind of goes both ways
stingy.
because Detroit is a top 10 running offense also.
They are, but I mean, the Giants are a little bit more stingy. I would say they're middle.
I'm trying to help you, Steve. And
No, it's okay. I understand. I'm cool with being lone wolf. I like being lone wolf. You want to know why? Because I think
nothing wrong
Detroit
with being
can do it. I think that means they can put up the points. They've shown they can put up 30 plus. I think
Who's the
that's what
best
that's going to
running
need.
back in the NFL right now?
The New York Giants are 26th in the league against the run.
It's not great.
that is horrendous.
Huh.
So
How about that?
the Detroit Lions.
That's horrendous if you own Swift or Jamal Williams.
What?
Wait.
Like they're the 26th best?
Best. Yes, against the run.
So that would be phenomenal if you own Swift.
No, that would be bad if you own them. They're very good at stopping the run.
So then they'd be
They're the
fifth best.
26th against the run. Like, okay, so
26 to me would be low scoring. So you're saying
yes, so then they would be actually the 6th best team against the run.
okay. I appreciate.
Okay.
That clarifies that a little better.
I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm going off of fantasy.
Okay.
Project, like if
Okay,
you own
so-
one of those guys, you're going against the 26th,
You're
best.
going against the sixth best run defense.
6th best run defense.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
okay. Thank you. Good. That screwed me up when you said 26.
Yeah,
It threw
they're
me
like
off.
they're really good against the run. It's a
All right.
Wink Martindale
All
system.
right, yeah,
We'll
no,
see.
I mean,
It's tough.
defense has been.
We'll
They have a very
see.
good defense.
All right, so we're gonna move on from here. We're gonna backtrack because we're going to go into the game of the weeks, and we're going to jump into that first game of the week, which is Ryan's game of the week, I think, right? You got the Browns-Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
All right, so we're going to jump into the game of the week, and you got that overlay? You slacker. There it is. Okay. Slacker. All right, game of the week is Browns-Buffalo. Ryan has... Hold on, bring that back up because I want to see what Ryan scores before he speaks.
Oh.
Ryan has the Browns... Or is that Buffalo winning?
No.
Yeah.
Buffalo winning 30... Well, it's backwards because someone doesn't know how to write text.
No, you always put the higher score first.
Yeah, 35-15 Buff.
Yeah, now that it's in a dome.
Yeah, 35-15 Buffalo. I like how you just took like the Miami score and just kind of moved it over a little bit and said, "Here, this is this week's score."
I mean, you put this team in a dome and they're dangerous.
So,
I mean,
just out of curiosity, why is this your game of the week?
because I couldn't pick a primetime game. If you want to be honest, I'll be straight honest with you guys. I mean,
So I told these guys no primetime games because we're going to talk about them no matter what. So
if
I had to
was going to
pick
pick another game, it'd probably be the Giants-Lions because I'd like to see how the Lions line up against the Giants because the Giants have a good defense. But I'm gonna pick this game because I really feel like this isn't a crucial game for the Bills. You know, the Bills lose this game, they're third place in the division right now. They're 0-2 in the division.
they'll be second depending on the Patriots-Jets game.
You're right.
Because if the Patriots
if the Jets
lose-
win, they're in third place in the division. If the Jets win,
No, other way. If
no.
the
If
Patriots
the Jets are no. I have it right here. If the Jets win,
bro, right here,
my notes.
right here.
Oh, here we go.
Here, AFC. Right
if the Jets win, they stay third. 'Cause
Oh,
the
you're
Jets
right.
are
I forgot about Miami.
Yes.
I forgot about Miami.
Miami's
Sorry.
in first place right now.
I forgot about Miami.
They will stay in third. The Patriots will be in fourth place with the Jets win.
Right.
Correct.
It's just a messy situation for the Bills right now.
Yeah, they paid the NFL to go in a dome.
You know what? There could be a bunch of conspiracy theories on everything. This is why the Bills chose to have an outdoor stadium. Come beat us in our territory.
I'm gonna ask you.
This is what we play football in.
So here's a crazy
Correct?
question. I agree.
You're telling me that we can't clean a freaking football field?
It's not the first time they've done this.
I agree.
That is
Playing
true.
4 feet's a little difficult,
It is not.
but they should still play in the elements.
Why? I have a question. Why not play in Cleveland? I get the home field advantage aspect, but they
Yep.
only play us once a year. Why not play in Cleveland?
Right.
I don't understand that argument, and I get agitated being a Browns fan because to me, this is very pointed to help Buffalo out because now they don't have to travel on Thursday to go to Detroit. They could just sit in Detroit for 3 days, play 2 games, have 2 practices, and say, screw it, don't travel. You don't have to worry about any. They don't get a home field advantage at this point, Detroit, because Buffalo's been there for 2 weeks. So what does it matter at that point? Like, to me, the NFL is one-siding this, and they're trying their best to give this to Buffalo this week.
I mean, yes. I mean, coming from a Browns side view, I can see that.
What about a Detroit side?
What about a Detroit?
They're using Detroit as their home field, and then they play Detroit 3 days later on Thanksgiving in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Detroit always plays on that field, so I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but now they don't have to travel to go to Detroit.
No, they're just practicing.
what?
No. I see. I didn't know that. That's garbage.
That's
No.
a big
That's
difference.
garbage. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Goodell.
No.
Would they have
No,
done that
that's
for the-
garbage.
Would they have
They're
done that
already
for the
there.
That's
AFC
They
trash.
North?
don't have to leave.
Would they have done that for the
Trash.
AFC North?
No.
I don't know. Most AFC North teams have outdoor.
All of them
We
are
know how to play
outdoor.
football outside.
Cincinnati does.
All of them. Cincinnati doesn't have a
Baltimore
dome.
does. No, I'm saying they have outdoor stadiums.
Yeah, all of them.
Baltimore has an outdoor stadium.
Yep.
Cleveland
Steelers,
has an outdoor.
Browns.
Yep.
Cincinnati has an outdoor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has an outdoor.
Yeah, it's a cop out.
Because
That's
this
bullshit.
is what we do. We play in this element.
That's what's a
So
Buffalo
then why
supposed
not,
to do.
why not make them play in New York?
Yep.
New York's playing in the Patriots. Why not go make them go play in New York?
Yep.
You're trying
Because the
to make
Giants
me
are at home.
take sides with Cleveland, and I will never do that.
But out of
Oh,
curiosity, why give them the advantage? No,
I'll
why give them the
never do it.
advantage on Detroit? Because now they don't travel. Why not make them go to the Jets stadium
Look,
The Giants are playing Detroit there.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, they are both. You're right. Giants are home that week, and
Hear me
Jets
out.
are
Still
away.
though,
Hear me out.
You're
so
right.
They
all
should-
had
they
to
should have
do
came
was
to
move
Cleveland.
a fair,
You're right.
They had like some indoor
One for
fair at
Bo.
Forbes Field.
one for Bo.
So Josh Allen's last 3 game splits, right? This dude has turned the ball over 6 times.
Ooh, not great.
He has 6 INTs. I'm sorry, 7 times.
With the last 3
The
games.
game should have been in Miami.
4 picks.
Ooh,
His first 6
The game
games.
should have been in Miami.
Outdoor.
His first 6 games.
I mean,
4 picks.
fair
2
weather.
fumbles. That's 6 turnovers.
true neutral, true
The
neutral
Browns
field.
had just played there, right?
True neutral field. I mean, well, no, because I mean, like, I'm not against giving favor to anybody, but this definitely gives favor to the Bills.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Why not play in Cincinnati?
This is why I'm not a Josh Allen fan.
Oh,
Hear me out.
What?
stop!
Listen to me.
You cannot tell me you like Lamar.
Okay,
over
hold on,
Josh.
hold on. This is Ryan's take. Let's.
Jeez.
Ryan, hot take
4 picks,
Okay.
2 fumbles. His
Yeah.
first 6 games.
this year.
He had a light schedule in the first six games. Okay.
Okay.
Now look at his stuff. Look at his losses.
They're against all good teams.
Vikings,
Miami.
Dolphins, Jets. Jets have a good defense.
Yep.
May not have a great offense, but they have a good defense.
Vikings, good defense.
Vikings, good defense. Dolphins,
Trash.
But you know what? They can put up
Okay.
points.
They outscored them. Yep.
And you know what? They shut him down that game too. That was one of those 17-14 games.
Could have played in
couldn't
Philly.
score.
Could
Wait,
have played
no.
in DC.
Hold on.
So, hold on, I'm not done.
they should have won that game.
After the bye,
Why you gotta do this? Why you gotta
with Josh
Makes
Allen's
sense.
injury,
That's true
listen.
neutral field. Sorry.
Keep.
After the bye, Josh Allen gets the injury, right? 6 picks, 1 fumble, 3 games. That guy has more turnovers in 3 games than he does in 6 games. What's going on?
His elbow.
They
got a bad
exactly
one.
why
He's got a
They
bad
sent him
weenus, man.
indoors.
His weenus hurts.
his wing.
That's why they put him indoors, because they don't want him to play in the cold.
That I
For 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Man,
Right.
why that sounds now it sounds sauce.
is
Now you got me.
does the NFL actually consider and
Yes.
coddle?
Certain quarterbacks.
Tom Brady.
They've been doing it for years.
Yep,
I
Tom.
think they have been doing it for years. I
They've
mean,
been
they
doing it for
literally
years.
made a Brady rule.
If Aaron Rodgers wasn't such a bastard in the NFL, they would be doing it for Aaron.
It's
Yeah.
kind of gross. Like, when I bring this stuff up, when I bring up his last game splits, and I hate taking sides because I nothing makes me happier than watching the shit-stained Cleveland Browns lose games. Nothing makes, and I know I'm sitting next to who I'm sitting next to,
What was that one score that the Browns destroyed Baltimore?
but nothing makes me happier than watching them lose.
You know, aren't you like the original
I brought
Browns fan? Is that what this is?
Oh yeah, so we're not even going to go over that. We'll go over it another day when we
I'm
talk about Ryan's
saying.
history.
I'm just saying. I'm not even going to touch on any facts for the Browns. They suck.
Oh, okay,
I'm
that's true.
considering.
Better than the Ravens.
I want this game. If Chubb doesn't have 20 plus carries in this game,
Needs it.
Stefanski's on the hot seat.
He should be already.
No,
He's
Stefanski's not on the hot seat.
he should
He's
be.
not on the hot seat because they literally gave everything for
Stop
their
it.
quarterback.
Bills
Stop it.
26-21.
You can't pay
26-21 Bills.
that guy
Oh,
that
there it
much
is.
money.
26-21 Bills.
26-21 Bills.
That's a close game.
26-21 Bills.
Steve?
I also am gonna go Bills, sadly, and it's gonna be 31-24.
31-20. Wow.
I said 35-15. That
Yeah.
was similar to the pick I had last week
Yep.
too, when you
50
guys were like,
points.
"Oh yeah,
John?
26-21 Bills.
John?
I gotta say
47.
28-18.
Bills?
Bills. Yep.
Bills.
He plays with his head, not his heart.
reprisal."
I'm going to say 24, 21,
Yep.
Bills in overtime.
What the?
OT.
Okay, I mean,
I gave it to the Bills.
Oh yeah.
In overtime.
All right, let's go. 4 p.m. slate.
Anyway.
All right, next game of the week is
Start Gabe Davis.
Dallas, Minnesota Vikings.
Boy, oh boy, better watch out!
I'm assuming that's
Take it
Bo's
away,
game
Bo.
of the week. Go for it.
Yes, sir. So let me explain something real quick to you listeners. The Cowboys had a disappointing loss in Green Bay. That's okay. That happens. It's supposed to happen. It's called a letdown game. It's supposed to make you appreciate the wins that you've had and the wins that you're going to have. You're going to come back. You're going to bounce back. You're going to beat Minnesota at home, and you're going to do it handedly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the Cowboys. They're going to run the ball. They're going to score some touchdowns. Give me the Cowboys 34-27.
I like that take. Who do you got, Steve, in this game?
Oh, I'm going to Minnesota. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Yeah. All right. It's going to be 35-34 Minnesota.
Wow.
I'm talking close.
That's a close game.
You want to know why?
Nail biter from 2 weeks in a
69.
row.
You know why, though?
69. What's the over-under?
Wow.
JJ. That's it.
He is something.
You bring down that jet plane.
Kelly needs to trade me that.
47.
I offered him 3.
Ooh.
I offered her 3 first.
Over-unders at 47.
Like that.
He's
slamming the over.
Could you
Smoke that
imagine
over.
my fantasy
He's
team if I
slamming the
had
over.
Smoke the
Jamar
over.
Chase and
Justin
Jay
Jefferson.
Jettas?
You don't have any more first.
Dude, I would literally I'd be doing the gritty every day of the week.
This
You
dude
won't do it
traded-
right now.
This
Do
dude
it.
traded 3 firsts, 2 seconds,
Don't
and
tempt
Cam
me.
Akers for Jamar Chase. He doesn't have any more firsts. to give.
Listen, 3 1s and 2 2s for JJ.
All right, Ryan, who do you got in this game?
Vikings.
What do you got?
I think it's going to be 30-24.
Oof.
So far, everybody's taking the over.
Oh yeah, he smashed it.
I like these
both
defenses.
offenses put up points.
They do put up points, but you know what? The defense helps.
Johnny, who
They
you got in
have
this
good
game?
defenses.
28-27 Minnesota.
Wow, those are some close.
As much as I don't want to, Minnesota's.
It's a hard game. It's a really hard
It's a-
game.
it's a hard game to
This is
pick.
one of the roughest games.
I'm on your side.
Well, Minnesota's going to have.
I've got Dallas 27-24
Yeah.
in this game.
This is a tight game, though.
will
It's
be.
exciting. This is why it's my game of the week. Because honestly, this is going to fall on one side of the coin or the other. But guess what? It might not be. It might not be the shootout that we think. And I really think that the defense for Dallas is a lot better than Minnesota's
That's
who
why I
they've
picked-
played.
Yep.
Who they've played defense.
Yep.
I will not stand.
Minnesota hasn't played a high-powered offense yet. Not saying that Dallas has one, but I think that Dallas's defense has played high-powered offenses and stopped them. And for that reason, we go ahead and we run the ball. And then when we run the ball and you load the box and the safeties come down, that's when CD shines. And that's why I'm taking the Cowboys.
But Minnesota's offense has played the number 1 defense in the league.
By the way, I just want to point this out. I follow OBJ on a lot of things.
He's not going to Minnesota.
He's not going.
He's been spotted
In Dallas?
multiple times in Minnesota.
Been spotted in
He's not going
Dallas.
to
He's
And
been
he's also
spotted.
been spotted in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'd say.
And the Rams again.
Shoot, I heard the Browns were on the table again.
Just an FYI,
Yeah.
if he does go to Minnesota with this record,
I don't like him in Minnesota.
but if he goes to Minnesota, he's going to break his knee in 2 games.
Yeah, I don't like JJ for that.
Too
then.
cold.
No, it's the turf.
It is turf.
He's not a turf guy.
No, he's a natural. He's a
He
real
is he's an
grass guy.
agile, grip the grass, turn on a dime, running back.
Go back to.
He's a
New
running.
York.
No, he is.
Okay,
I'm
I see what
saying
you're saying. I see what you're
I
saying.
heard that was possible.
turn on a dime guy, and he can't do that on turf.
Nope.
There's not enough grass.
They
There
won't.
is 2 different types of
Neat.
turf, though.
There's grass turf
Astro
and
and
turf
what
turf.
else?
No, there's.
Astro turf.
It's like ribbon turf, and it's connected.
What's
You
the
ever see,
difference?
have you seen this stuff?
No.
What's the difference?
If you
I'm glad we're having this
you got to Google it. You really got to Google it to see the actual images of it. There's I think it's called ribbon turf, and then there's grass turf, and there's 2 different things, and one of them actually looks like it would catch a cleat. If you ever look it up, take a look at it.
You know
And there's 2 different turfs used in the NFL.
I'm looking at the matchup on covers.com, and they're a betting website. It's funny because the money and the public are both on the Vikings.
JJ the jet plane. Let's go.
So you're
Kirk
gonna bet
Doggins.
against?
Kirk Doggins.
So I'm Vegas,
That's how you win money, right?
and that's what I'm saying.
That's how the NFL plays.
You win money by betting against the odds.
And that's my point. Everyone's on the Vikings to win this game at home. Nope. Give me the Cowboys.
Take the Cowboys then.
Give me the
at that point, right?
Yep.
All right, what do we? You want to go back turf? You want to go next?
Nah.
Who's next
I was
game?
trying my hardest to figure out what his turf was. I think he's making stuff up as he goes.
I'm not making stuff up.
he's fibbing.
I couldn't find. All I found was AstroTurf and then artificial turf, which is AstroTurf.
That's what I was saying. I didn't know the difference.
I don't see a difference. But I'll have to do way more research on that. Apparently, I'm too stupid on grass to figure that out.
We need to bring in Snoop Dogg, you know?
Bring your green hat.
That being said, let's go to the next game of the week. This is Jets Patriots. So me and Steve have this game as our game of the week, and it's
Oh,
funny.
we already talked about this one.
No, we jumped to scores and we went into it. So just out of curiosity, Steve, why did you pick the Jets over the Patriots?
Jets need it. If they want to stay playoff relevant, they need it.
Well, so the Patriots. I mean, that's.
I agree, but I like that.
talked about the Jets and the Patriots.
Well, we talked about scores. We didn't talk about game of the week.
Yeah,
we
we
didn't go into it.
didn't go
sorry.
game of the week.
Sorry.
That's what Bones saying. I like the Jets defense. I think they're underrated. I think that going against a wishy-washy Mac Jones, an unsure offense. I mean, you got Ramondre Stevenson, but I think the Jets can pull this out.
But what is Belichick's number one ability?
He shuts down your one. He shuts down your main target, your main option in your offense.
And what are the Jets' main target?
Uh,
Or a main offensive?
Garrett
running
Wilson?
back.
I mean, you could say Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I would say the quarterback. Like you brought it up earlier, like Zach
Yeah, so
Wilson. Zach
fourth-
Wilson's horrendous against pressure.
I would say. So if I'm Belichick, I'm gonna stop the run. I'm gonna force Garrett Wilson to throw. I'm gonna force you to use your option that is shaky on the year. That's what I'm doing because his corners are okay. So
I agree, and I think this, like you said, this game matters more than anything else out there. To be
Patriots need it. Jets need it.
and they both need it. And if Buffalo loses, like they're both right there.
If Buffalo loses,
No, Belichick is fine.
I hope Buffalo loses,
Like,
but
I think that you guys heard, Belichick doesn't care. Like, he's not the same guy that we remember him as.
Well, Belichick's not on the
I just
field.
don't think he is.
Belichick's not on the field. I think he is.
No, Belichick has been and will be.
Oh, wow.
Always on the field. He is the difference. He's the guy that looks for your left hand and your right hand and shuts shit down.
Yeah.
So like if he's on the field, 100%.
I see what you're saying, but he's a master delegator. He gets the guys in the position to do the job, and everybody has a role, and they do the role.
So if Belichick's cashed out because he knows that he's like, let's see what you guys got.
What do you mean by cashed out?
Well, I know that Miami's doing very well. I know that Buffalo's going to do very well. And I know that the Jets, Saleh, is putting in way more effort than I am. So, I'm kind of just like, we'll see what this team has because Mac has not shown me a fucking thing. And, like, Rashad Stevenson is our offense. There's, like, nobody else there. So,
yeah,
So
that's what you said.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. This argument is kind of one thing that's been bugging me for everybody in the NFL because I kind of make this argument all the time. Is that people just opt out in the NFL like these guys are okay losing games. They're not okay losing games. These guys come to a high level to compete no matter what situation. Carolina doesn't walk out on that field every week and go, it's okay if we lose a game. No, they don't. And if you think that, you wouldn't be in that level ever. And we're not in that level. And I think that's the argument that a lot of people make, saying, they're opt out, they're in it for a draft pick. But in this situation, people need to understand these guys are playing, they're getting paid to play, they love playing this game, and it's a situation that everybody wants to be on that field and they want to win a game. No one likes to go home losing. I walk out of work, if I feel like I lost every day, I wouldn't be at work. So these guys don't show up to practice 6 days a week.
You wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, these
gonna
guys don't
say-
show up to
Belichick.
practice.
I was just about to say.
Belichick, no days off.
Yeah, and they don't.
Yeah.
They don't choose to not play. They
Your
show up.
job.
So I just that argument to me is, it's an. I don't want to say this as an uneducated argument. I think it's an understanding argument of what players put in the NFL to show up on Sunday.
no, see, Matt Patricia is calling the offense, right?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Do you know who Matt Patricia is?
yeah.
Do you know what Matt Patricia has done in the past?
Well, nothing.
Okay. Do you know what he's done professionally in the past?
No.
Okay.
Be
So Matt
unsuccessful in
Patricia,
Detroit.
before he was the Lions head coach,
Yeah.
he was the Patriots defensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Time out. Time out. This is what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know
I'm
that.
talking
Yes.
about
Well,
learning.
I'm saying I do know that.
No. I'm talking about learning. I'm talking about Bill Belichick understand that this is a patient game and saying that his guys are here to learn and develop. And Belichick understands that he's not a playoff contender. So he is okay with learning for a sake because he understands that it's not about winning and losing right now. What it's about right now is development. And I think that that's a manager's perspective.
Okay.
Because when I say, hey, we want to be the best, and you say, hey, man, we are far from the best. We are still learning. Okay, then I have to hold back my reins and understand that we're in a learning process and not a winning process. And I think that that's where Belichick is. It has nothing to do about him not wanting to be a winner or not wanting to be a guy that can fucking make the playoffs. It's more or less about a guy that is okay with the learning process.
So, right. And I agree with the learning process fact, but that's assuming that they're not going to want to win when they show up on that field. Belichick's going to do everything he can to win that game. And Belichick always does. You ever seen Belichick just not show up at halftime when they're losing? I've never in my entire time of watching football the Patriots just not show up in the second half.
What's the benefit of winning and what's the benefit of losing?
Well, the benefit of losing is that you get you learn things because you learn from losing, and two, you get a draft pick, right? The benefit from winning is you also learn things that you're capable of doing things that most people don't expect you to do, and then the negative would obviously be not getting a draft pick. But I mean, I don't think you understand in this situation that it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It matters whether you show up to play on Sunday and give your best effort.
Oh, they're going to.
And Belichick's not going to
It's not going
ever
to be enough because Salah's a fucking good coach.
Salah, and if we had to talk about like coaches of the year, Salah has done a phenomenal job
Salah's
with
a
what
great
he's
coach.
with what he's done.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I would agree with that. Like no one expected this team to do this outside of this and Pete Carroll. Like
Put Flacco back in, damn it.
Honestly, please.
their offense performed.
Please.
A little better.
They perform so much better.
No, see, that's the difference is that it's a learning thing, but it's also a winning thing for that team. For the Patriots, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm taking the Jets.
Ryan, were you a Flacco fan when he was in Baltimore?
It was a roller coaster ride.
Okay, good. All right, so that's a maybe. All right, I'll take it.
So, in other words,
He was a Flacco fan.
I do.
He was a
I'll take
Flacco
it.
fan until the Super Bowl.
You know
take
what?
it.
I'm a fan of any damn guy that wants to put on that purple and black and put everything on the line
Stop
for
it.
us.
He backs
Deshaun
Lamar all
Jackson.
the way. He's one of the
Stop it.
best quarterbacks in the league. Let's move on to the next game of the week. We're gonna go Cincinnati Steelers. Johnny, this is yours. Why is this your game of the week?
So that's my game of the week because divisional as well, and I mean since he's 5-4, Pittsburgh's 3-6. Since he needs this win to still compete with first place, since at least from our picks we know that Baltimore is going to beat Carolina Sunday. So to be not 2 losses behind and still only be 1 loss behind, or 1 win behind rather. Cincinnati needs this win.
Right, they have to win this game for any playoff hopes, wild card or division.
Right.
Yeah, they got a hope. What was your score again?
Score.
It's ridiculous.
Bring that back up.
No,
Go.
Minka and
Let's see
TJ
it.
are both playing.
Right.
Oh man, that's a hope and a prayer.
So
31-20 for Johnny.
That-
I like your argument because this is a must-win for Cincy.
It is.
and
It is.
Burrow's got to find a way to not get sacked with TJ being back.
That's not gonna
And that's the
happen.
problem. Their whole line is so bad.
Bo, what do you got in this game?
You always come to me.
I actually bounce around.
You're the better man. You're the big gambler.
You're the guy.
You are the
You
better.
are the
You're the
guy.
dude.
I actually expect you to come with the over/under and then give your point
Yeah,
almost
what
every
the
time.
hell, man?
Oh, yeah, I
wanna
love
know
it.
this-
I
I want
love
to know
it.
the spreads.
I love that.
Brand.
I want to know about it. Give it to me.
27-20 Bengals.
What's the over?
Oh, firing it up.
All right, so 27-20 for Bo, 31
42.
20 for 42-0. So you both have the over. All right.
What's yours? You said 31 more?
No, I was talking
Oh.
about Johnny's.
Oh,
He
my
said
bad.
30
27-20, give me the Bengals, and I'm taking the over.
Takes the over.
All right.
Loves it.
Ryan?
I'm gonna take the Steelers 21-18. I think TJ just has a field day on that
TJ doesn't look like he
Bag
lost
of
his step.
peas.
He doesn't look like he
Fine,
lost
I
his
guess.
step after last week.
ODs.
So you think that
Happy
Pickens
Joe
is going
Mixon
to be able
game.
to get close enough to score touchdowns? With
I don't
the-
honestly. I
It's a
think
Joe Mixon game.
Could be.
no.
I mean, well, I should backtrack because I did say
Could
that
be.
Okay.
Pittsburgh was going to get 20 points.
He did give him 20.
So
Picking the Pickens. Picking the
Yeah.
Pickens. Picking the Pickens. All right, Steve. What do you got in this game?
21-14 Cats.
Bengals.
Kitties.
And I say that because I think TJ feasts though. I think he does eat.
Would
I
it
think he eats, I think
would
he
it
eats
be
well.
crazy to just like have the
Isn't Lyle
Steelers?
Collins injured?
Yeah.
Isn't he hurt still?
I don't think he was
Who the
doing.
hell's your right
He wasn't.
tackle?
It doesn't matter. He wasn't doing much when he was healthy. So
Nobody on that offense was doing.
I think Joe Burrow is sitting there instead of buying this dude's Rolexes. He's
I'm gonna be
buying,
honest, Joe
he's
Burrow-
buying-
That guy sneezed in that press conference and Joe Burrow flinched.
You know what Joe Burrow needs to do?
He's
Have-
terrified
He
of
should be.
everything.
Joe Burrow should have Chris Evans on the field,
Seeing ghosts.
Samaje Perine, and Joe Mixon, and just bench all the linemen because nobody on that offensive line is blocking.
Someone's got to step up, man. It's gross. It's hard to watch sometimes, honestly.
I got the Steelers winning this game, and I got it 24-21 Steelers.
So close game.
It's a close game just
That's
because
close.
I don't
Close.
think Joe Burrow ever gives up. He'll take 15 sacks in a game and still throw 5 touchdowns if he has to.
As long as his leg is still attached.
Torn ACL.
Oh,
Did you see that? So I watched this short the other day with T.J. Watt talking about Joe Burrow. Did you see that when T.J. Watt was blocking Joe Burrow got into his chest and started pushing him back, and TJ's like, "Oh, you're gonna push me back," and he threw him to the ground. And then Joe Burrow came to him later. He goes, "That's a good block. That was a good block."
Joey B. I love it, dude.
The dude just loves football.
He's a grinder.
He is. He
is.
really is. And T.J. Watt's getting 2 sacks in this game. Joe Burrow's getting sacked 5 times.
Oh,
It's just
I think 5 is like average. I
That's-
think that might be low.
that actually is probably low for what the Steelers have done to Joe Burrow in the past 3 attempts at him. But I just in this situation, that defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So let's move on from here. That's the gift for the game of the week. So let's go to that Sunday night game. What do we got for that Sunday night game? Because this is a primetime game. Kansas City Chargers. Ryan, what do you got going on in this game? Because
Over unders at 49.5.
49.5 over on
this I'm assuming was your primetime game.
no.
They got the Chargers plus 6.5.
No, this was his game of the week. I'm
No,
assuming.
It was Monday night.
You took the Monday night game? Whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you got for this Chargers Kansas City game? What do you got?
I like the Chiefs 35-28 because I'm assuming
Ooh.
that Keenan and Mike Williams are both going to come back. So I think they're going to put up some points.
Did
I
Kenny
did
practice?
see that Mike Williams is the favorite to be active. So I like the chances, but I did see Keenan Allen's been practicing this week. He's
Okay.
been doing individual drills. He looks good.
They both practice the same amount.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Williams is the favorite to be active. Keenan looks like supposedly is a week away, but I mean, just get out there, help your team. But I still like the Chiefs 35-28.
I'm gonna jump in on this one because before anybody jumps in, because this is another one of those games I'm taking the opposite on. I'm gonna take the Chargers in this game, and it's 28-24. Wow. Steve?
Well, I gotta defer to Bo because we do own Mike Williams in our dynasty league. You think we're gonna start him this week? Chiefs, Chiefs 30-28.
I'm not.
How do you not
sold.
start him?
I don't.
Who you gonna start over him?
Don't worry, we got people.
DeAndre Carter?
Isaiah McKenzie against the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that.
Actually,
that's
a
actually
good-
not bad.
That's a good start.
In a dome.
Especially in a dome.
No weather.
I have the Chiefs 38, Chargers 24.
Love that. Wow. 38. That's so much meat.
Did I take the
so
under?
much.
I took the under, didn't I?
Say what, 28?
28-24.
No,
no,
49.5 was the over.
took the
So
over.
we all took the over so far.
But Johnny G, where you at?
I'm gonna say 31-21. Chiefs.
31-21 Chiefs. All right,
You do say it backwards.
Steve.
What?
Did you give your numbers?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this
30-28.
I think
Yep.
this one's kind of self-explanatory in this situation. Did we miss that game?
Yeah.
What? Oh, we jumped out of the 4:00 games. Go to the 4:00 games real quick.
The Raiders game.
Yeah, we
The
missed
Raiders.
the Raiders Denver game. Let's jump into that game real quick before we go to the Monday night game.
I agree.
So
I'm right there. I
Ryan
agree.
made a point to just make sure I cover this game because I did miss this
I
game.
mean, we could just do it real fast.
We'll do it real quick.
Real
What do you got?
quick.
What do you got in this game?
Do it.
2017 Broncos. I just wanted to throw in that Dan Graziano from ESPN did
Booba Boppy?
whatever his name is.
Dan Booba
He did
Boppies?
point out that in 2023, the fact that the Raiders could opt out of Derek Carr's contract,
Correct.
it wouldn't cost them too much.
Correct. And
$5 million, I think it was,
and
dead cap.
Did you
Oh.
see what they put on? I don't remember. It was like Verge or something like that. They're already putting trades out there in the offseason for
real.
Derek Carr to go to Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
They're already
Honestly?
starting it. They're already starting it.
You spent a second round pick.
That's
on a
not
player.
bad. That is
saying,
so
I'm
not
just
bad.
saying,
26, 26-16 Raiders over the Broncos.
All
Ooh.
right, so we got Denver 2017
Okay.
2017. Yeah.
and 26-16, you said?
Yep.
What do you got, Steve?
I'm going Denver. I'm going to go Denver 25-17.
John?
Denver 17-14.
Oh, I kind of want to go with Bo on this one, but I had Denver at the start of this game. I got Denver 24-17.
All right, let's go to our Monday Night Football.
Let's get
Why
it.
don't, since you, What?
Yeah, that's right.
why don't you, Ryan? So this was your potential game of the week, and apparently I was a dick and didn't allow you to take primetime games.
I mean,
so
it's
go for
fine.
it. Why is this your primetime game?
I feel
game
like
of the week?
this is a big game for the Niners. They got to win
Really?
this game, man.
Well, yeah.
Seattle's, they're the division leaders. You just can't. You can't lose this game. And Marquise Brown potentially could be back this week for what's going on?
We're hitting lights. We accidentally
There we
we
go.
pop lights.
hot spots.
Gee.
Go ahead.
All right.
So
Niners need it.
Yeah, they just need this game. I mean, Marquise Brown's coming back. Arizona's going to be tough this week. They got DeAndre there. Rondell Moore is playing very well. I mean, yeah, they lost Zach Ertz, but they still got James Conner, Hollywood, D-Hop. I mean, there's so much. Kyler Murray sounds like he's going to be playing this week. I mean, they got a tough matchup, so.
All right, Bo, what do you think about this game?
This is pretty no-brainer to me. If you
Oh, by the way, I got the Cardinals 28-25. I'm sorry.
Did you not say that right off the rip?
No.
Oh,
you're taking the Cardinals money line, right?
What is money line? We don't know.
So that means like
No,
Dumb it down for the dummies.
yeah.
We're not degenerates.
okay.
I am.
So you're just taking the Cardinals to beat the 49ers straight up.
Okay, so
sure,
is that
yeah.
what you mean by money line?
Because they're home team? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they're playing in Mexico.
Okay.
Mexico City. Yep.
Okay.
So they're not playing in Arizona.
It's not that far. Let's not act like it's hundreds of thousands
No,
of miles
but I'm
away.
saying, like, San Francisco's minus 8.5. This is a no-brainer.
I mean, doesn't Arizona usually do this like once a year?
Arizona doesn't do anything. They're 1-4 at home. They're not that good of a team.
You mean-
they're 2 like they're
Doesn't
they're
matter.
not that good.
You mean
Like,
travel,
in
right?
General.
He means travel. Don't they travel to
It's okay.
Mexico? Is what he
So-
means.
No.
No,
Not
I'm
every year.
saying they're 1-4 at home. Like, this team is not good. Arizona's not good. It doesn't matter. Like, nothing matters. James Conner, not a good running back. DeAndre Hopkins, meh. Like, he's okay. But
mean
when the
meh?
49ers are Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk.
How are you
I
going
don't
to say
care.
DeAndre Hopkins is meh and then say George Kittle?
Because George
seriously.
Kittle's open because of the other guys.
But
And he's still a top tier talent. There's no one in Arizona outside of DeAndre. Like, this is a no-brainer.
Hollywood
San
Brown was a
Francisco all day.
top 10 wide receiver before he got hurt.
Yep.
He was talked about being a wide receiver 1. He was the wide receiver 1 conversation in fantasy before he got hurt.
31-21.
And Rondell
49ers.
Moore.
And
31-21 Niners. That's a
I
good
won't
score.
And Hollywood Brown has a potential to play this week.
I don't care. Like, I honestly, like, it doesn't matter. They're playing in Mexico. The 49ers are that good. They're dominant.
Jimmy G is 10-2 when he throws 0 touchdowns.
And that
You're gonna have to score
imagine what he
touchdowns
is
this
when he
week, bud.
actually scores them.
17-10 San Francisco.
You're gonna have to score touchdowns this week
17-10
against
San
a
Francisco.
high-powered offensive in
They still have a
Arizona.
bad.
What high power?
They have a lot of weapons. Granted, yes, the 49ers have a good defense,
They have no run game.
but their secondary is poop.
Arizona has no run game though.
Thank God for Nick Bosa.
Thank God. Johnny G, who you got?
I'm going to say 21-18 San Fran.
Niners.
That's what 4-1.
21-18.
Did you pick Arizona?
No, I'm taking Niners. 24-17 Niners.
All right, so 4-1. Ryan's a standout in this one. This was his original
I
game
love
of the
it,
week.
baby.
I like it. I mean,
I love it.
Give
I like
me
it.
those standout games on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of all I got for today. Do you guys have anything you want to cover that we kind of left out? Anything that's on Twitter? Anything that's kind of going crazy right now? I mean, we just got word that Buffalo landed a couple hours ago
That's
in
all I got to say
Cleveland.
is right there.
Right, Buffalo landed a couple hours ago in Detroit. So we just got word on that
Safely.
recently. Yeah, well, you prefer unsafely
In a,
personally.
in a dome.
Jeez.
I'm just saying. Sorry, I don't
love-
wish
I
I don't
love
wish bad
football,
on
baby.
anybody.
Yeah.
But anybody else got anything? Bo, anything you want to
Closing thoughts?
bring in this week? Any closing
You look
thoughts this week?
puzzled over there, bud.
Or how about this? Let's just do this. What's your takeaway for this weekend?
What does that mean?
What is your takeaway? What do you want everybody to know this weekend, whether it be football or anything? What's your takeaway for this weekend?
I guess my thing would be if you're going to gamble this weekend and you're going to do it responsibly and you're going to have some fun, I have probably like one DFS play. It's take David Montgomery because Khalil Herbert is injured. He's worth 6,300 in DFS.
Wow.
Like play him in that, and then like
Throw Singletary in there too against that poop defense.
yeah, the
Stop it.
rushing.
Stop it.
I could sideline
'Cause
that.
he's
That's-
cheap, too.
That's for sure.
right.
That's all I'm gonna say is like
Me, Josh
DFS
Allen.
play. As far as like bets go, I think your best bet, like if I was like, oh yeah, you know what, man, I'm gonna put all my money on one bet. I'd probably
Do it.
looking at this.
Do it.
We don't give financial advice, but we do give gambling issues.
Because that's your problem if you spend money and lose.
That's right.
I think
You're the one that hits enter,
Yeah.
not us.
We just
I
give
think
you-
I like the over of Baltimore, Carolina.
The
And here's
44.
why.
That was 44, right?
It's 44, and here's why. I think I like it because Baltimore can stop the run for Carolina. They're good at stopping the run. So like Carolina knows that, and Carolina's going to throw the ball to like make up for Baltimore scoring as much as they do. They may not be able to execute, but if they do score 10, that's why I think Baltimore is going to score 35.
Love it. Well said.
I like that. It's a good takeaway. So we're gonna leave it at that for Bo. I mean, that's kind of all he has for the day. Steve, what do you got for your takeaway for the day and weekend, and what do you want to tell the crowd?
My takeaway for the weekend. There's a lot of matchups this weekend that are going to decide divisions. I mean, you're going to see teams, really flounder, and you're going to see teams really rise. The green rises to the top. Oh yeah, and I think that's going to be this weekend. I think this is where divisions really start to separate. I think the Jets. I really think the Jets Pats game is gonna really drive a wedge there. I think the loser's gonna fall out, and the winner's gonna stay. The winner's gonna be a wild card team, because I think that I think Miami or Buffalo is gonna end up taking the division. But that's my thought. And other than that, God bless. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Tune in again on Wednesday.
All right, Ryan, what's your takeaway for the weekend? What do you got for everybody that's listening?
The NFL is its own government, and it can do
Facts.
whatever the hell it wants.
It's so true.
If it wants to move a game, if it wants to change a game, if it wants to do whatever the hell it wants, it will do it.
Change a game.
That is the bottom line.
Oh, you should have said that in the voice.
That is what they do, yeah. It's a game, baby, yeah.
I love it.
Is that all you got for this one?
I can't do the bottom line Stone Cold in Stone Cold.
And that's the bottom line. Stone Cold say so.
I mean,
There it is.
the facts,
There it is.
the facts are the facts. I mean, the NFL is they do what they want. They put suspensions down how they want.
They put
They
arbitration
will
in
literally
place, then override the
flick off
arbitration.
judgment. Yeah, it's bottom line. That's all I got to say.
That's the bottom line.
I disagree with the movement of the game. This is why they have an outdoor stadium, because this is who they are. This is what they do. I mean, shit. Are you gonna move a Green Bay game?
No.
They wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
This is what they prepare this for. This,
But I also
they
said-
know what they're getting into.
Aaron Rodgers is the bastard of the NFL too, though.
I
Clearly,
mean, 6 feet of snow is nothing.
clearly they
to
should have moved
Buffalo,
the Green
New
Bay
York.
game against San Fran.
That is a dusting to them.
All right.
That's all I got to say.
That's his takeaway for the week. Johnny, you got any takeaways for the week? Anything you want to give anybody?
Nothing really. I mean, like Bo said, the Chicago-Atlanta game's going to be a shootout, I feel. You know, let Fields run, see what he can do.
Hit that over.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, I will give my takeaway for the week. Families out there, everybody that's watching this, have some fun. Watch some football. Get ready for that holiday season. Thanksgiving's coming up.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
everybody.
we won't see. We're gonna be back on one more time on Wednesday.
I'm deep frying a turkey this year.
Let's go.
I'm nervous,
We have
yet excited.
We have the
Because you
fire.
can deep fry a piece of shit and fucking love it. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have the fire department on alert for Ryan's house. So, but
That's right down
I already warned the fire department off the road. I know a guy that's up there. I'm like, hey, I'm deep fried. He's like, make sure you got a hose close. I was like, it's cold, man.
So that being said, though, I just wish everybody a happy holiday if you don't see
Right
us.
on.
Happy
Outside of that, God bless and enjoy your family during this time.